Oh god.
God, that's so
It
loud.
is loud for no reason.
Hey, who the hell made that shit?
Thanks, Kahan.
It's as Kahan self-incriminates.
Alright, so welcome back, everybody. Last week we did our little narrative wrap up of Horde of the Dragon Queen, and we saw our beloved barbarian Eve depart aboard Skyreach Castle with the storm giant Blagothgus to the spine of the world mountains, far to the north of Faerun. Meanwhile, the rest of you made your way to Waterdeep and did some shopping. And it turns out Arthur managed to sell a pair of magic bracers along the way as well. And then at that point, you guys exited the Magic Emporium and stumbled across a raven that bid you to join Leosin Erlanthar, the half-elf monk of Burdusk and member of the Harpers at the Lord's Palace of Waterdeep, Pierjean's Palace. On your way there, however, you you notice a sudden shift in the wind. Actually, before that, let me just remind everybody too that you brought Talus back with you and turned her over to the authorities after you teleported into the city using one of the stones at the hunting lodge, which links to an abandoned warehouse in the castle ward of Waterdeep, and from there, you guys turned her over to the authorities, and shortly thereafter, you were contacted by Leo Sin via his bird. But in any event, on your way to Pierre Jean's palace, eager to reunite with the Harper that you saved from the clutches of the cult of the dragon when this adventure first began, you notice a sudden shift in the wind, which brings with it a strange sense of unease. The feeling is similar to a drop in air pressure before the approach of a deadly storm, or the faint tremors that one might feel from a landslide or an earthquake far away. As you look around, you notice that you're not the only ones who have felt this shift. The otherwise bustling city of Waterdeep goes unnaturally quiet around you. There's no dogs barking, there's no birds squawking, even the street vendors trying to hawk their wares have gone silent. The silence lasts but for a moment before the normal sounds of Waterdeep kind of rise back up and mask the unexplained sensation. But certainly you guys all felt it, and you kind of look around at each other wondering what just happened.
You said the whole city went quiet. Did were the people moving around us? Like, were they reacting to the same thing, or were they a part of this phenomenon?
Yes, they were moving. Everyone kind of felt the disturbance. It wasn't like a stop in time or anything. Um, it was just a very unnatural sensation that washed over the city all at once. All the animals and sounds of nature kind of stopped for a moment. Everybody looked around at each other. The hair on the back of your neck kind of stood up. Um, Clearly, something has happened. to cause this, but exactly what it is, you're not sure at this point.
Does anyone else seem concerned by it? You said they went about their business. Are they? I mean,
Yeah, as the city kind of comes back to life, so to speak, um, you notice that some of the animals uh, have changed their behavior in subtle ways. The dogs around you seem a little bit more nervous. The horses are somewhat skittish. Even the cats seem more feral than usual, hissing as you pass. Um, down one alley, you even see kind of a large uh, gathering of rats forming, bigger packs. Uh, Even the NPCs around you, the merchants, are affected by it. They kind of exhibit a sense of nervousness and fear, uh, even maybe some impatience. No one's quite sure what happened, but clearly everyone has felt it and encountered it, and it has put everybody kind of on edge.
can we look? Can we ask around and like see if this has happened before here? Is this a new thing? Is this
Sure, absolutely. Go ahead and make some kind of check for me. Justify your role.
um? I mean, it'll probably be a charisma check, right? I'm trying to get somebody's attention.
Yeah.
I don't.
So maybe a persuasion check or a deception check or an intimidation check.
Sure. Persuasion is fine. I'm just gonna try to get somebody's attention and ask them if this is something that has happened before. Wow, that's ironic. That's cool. um, so
Who are
16.
you asking?
I'm just going to, grab a traveling merchant or somebody passing by. Excuse me, that that disturbance that just occurred has that happened here before? We're new in town, and we've never experienced anything like it.
So the first person you ask kind of shakes their head. And the second person kind of does the same. But soon, you know, you gather the attention of um, what appears to be a Waterdavian noble. Um, and as you kind of ask her, whether this has happened before, she responds to you. The disturbance that's been sensed across the Sword Coast is a Drakhorn, an ancient device whose sounding alerts dragons across Faerun that great events are unfolding.
Drackhorns, Drachorn,
Or Drac, like dragon. Like
Draghorn,
Ace.
Drackhorn.
Drakhorn.
Dracgorn. Socrates.
Anthony, I'm so sorry.
Taurus.
Is this happening after we've already met the Raven, or have we not met the Raven yet?
Yeah, you met the Raven, and it's on your way to
Okay, got it.
the palace.
Cool. Thank you.
So it was a Dratcorn, and can you repeat what that was again, the description?
Yes, the noble, who is a fairly attractive female.
For no reason whatsoever.
Hey, I didn't draw the art. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
True.
Uh-huh.
She I'll post a picture of her actually.
He's so distracted.
Yeah, let us judge.
Yeah.
There we go.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Ew.
She tells you that the disturbance that you encountered is the Drakhorn. It's an ancient device whose sounding alerts dragons across Faerun that great events are unfolding.
I thank you for the information. My name is Arthur. May I inquire as to your name?
Dala. Dala Silverhell.
Say
Silmerhell.
Dala?
Silver.
Dala. Dala Silmerhell.
Just have these already going. Just copy paste. All right. Beautiful. Thank you.
Oh.
Okay. Well, Thank you, Madam Silmerhelve. It was lovely to meet you.
Indeed. And where might you be going?
We have a friend who has beckoned us to the palace of Pierre Grand's palace, something of that nature.
Oh,
we're
Pierre Giron. Yes, that's
Pierre,
it.
yes,
Pierre.
Pierre's palace.
Just
That's the one.
listening to the local and Arthur trying to pronunciate the
Pierre
castle.
Giron, Peregrine,
The
like the
Lord-
Falcon.
The
Perry
Lord's
the
palace.
Platypus?
Yo.
Perry the platypus.
No one calls it Pierre Giron's palace, said he.
Just Palace P. P's palace.
Yo, are we
PP?
pushing peas?
The Lord's palace. All right, love it.
How convenient. I'm headed there myself. Would you care to accompany me?
I
Or should I say, would you mind if I join you?
I look to my companions for or for verification. Kind of, I nod my head and gesture to them as to show my assent. Is there any objections?
No, join us.
I have no objections. I definitely have more questions to ask as we travel together. But yeah, I'm okay with
Only
it.
then. And she
Sure.
kind of holds her arm out, offering you her elbow to kind of hook your arm through if you choose to.
Absolutely. Do I get to date Emma Frost?
Yo, that'd be
Yes.
lit.
Shot, please.
Just in case. I gotta show the stream.
She
Gotta-
know
A new
everything
date.
you're thinking of though.
Look back his hair.
Yeah, that's terrible. Hate for that to happen. You mean I never have to miscommunicate again? It's terrible. Hate for that.
So we obviously have our own business with the palace. What is Zala's need for the palace? I just feel like our crossing of paths and the shared destination seems like too much of a coincidence.
Are you asking her that?
Yes.
And your name?
Oh, I go by Sin.
We're going with the
Sid.
secret names now. Yeah,
Well.
my name's also just Arthur.
I'll have you know that I've been summoned to the Council of Waterdeep.
Well, it seems we have as well.
Seems like we had the same invitation.
Interesting.
Out
And
of
who
character.
invited you?
I don't tell her my name.
I don't know this lady. What was
Can
that?
we roll? Can we get an insight check? Can we determine whether this person's being genuine? Is there any?
Yeah, I have a +5.
I'll go ahead and help. Bryn, he seems to be the most. Well, Ulfgar's not even giving her his name, so I don't know.
Nope.
I'll tell her whatever she wants. I don't care.
Yeah, gotta get your way in, bro. Tell her what she wants to know.
Wow.
Really?
You guys rolling?
Yeah, it's buffering.
Why can I not?
Ooh.
Oh, there.
Okay.
Hey,
Nice.
who's the mind reader now? Emma Frost.
Right.
Did you say what?
I said right.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You
Yeah.
sense that Dala is being truthful with you. She certainly has not deceived you at all, but she is also cautious about what she's revealing to you as new, new faces.
Fair enough.
Sure.
There may be
Is
more
this-
information that she has that she is withholding at this point. Although
Right.
nothing she has said so far appears, deceitful.
That's at least what I
Fair
took
enough.
on too. Like I don't feel also kind of keeping her cards close to her chest, or
you
to the way
cutting
we
out.
are. Oh,
I mean, there's probably some things we could say to not. I mean, I'm not out here to give her my whole life story. I don't know her, but at a nod from Bryn, like, confirming that she's not like a doppelganger over here. It's not Orin in disguise.
God.
I'll just be straightforward without giving much away. I'll just tell her that we're meeting an old friend from Greenest and see if that draws any reaction from her before I go any further.
That is a long way south from here.
We have traveled a long way and done much.
Do tell. I never seem to find time to get away from this city.
Well, if you're ever interested in a castle,
Oh, is that right?
We have a great Airbnb.
We do in fact own a castle now. Yeah, that's true. It's a work in progress. I don't know if it's really inhabitable by people.
It's a property we've acquired almost accidentally.
It's waterfront. I don't know how clean the water is, but it's waterfront property.
We'll let you know when it's up and running.
The locals, they seem pretty protective of the place, so I think it's safe for now, as long as they both remain sleeping in their cave. Kind of situation.
I forcibly.
No, but I'd be. I'm sure this. If we're both heading to the council with similar business, I'm sure our story will be told shortly. I'm not sure that explaining who exactly we are and how far we've come is best discussed out in the open like this, if you understand.
Indeed. Very well, then. Let us make our way to the city. To the palace, excuse me. So, the rest of you kind of follow Arthur.
Hey,
Welcome.
welcome, Laura.
The rest of you kind of follow Arthur and Dala down the street to the Lord's Palace, and once there, you do catch sight of Leosin as he kind of smiles and waves and approaches you, meets you on your journey towards the palace.
I just want to activate the sitting stone real quick and send a psychic message to Bryn and just say dibs on. Just keep going.
That's your one message for the day, kids.
I know.
Wow. 25 times because I get 25 words. It's just dibs, dibs, double dibs, 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 double dibs, mine, dibs, 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 dibs.
He's just spamming it.
Reminds me of the streamers that have like the voice to text. You can spend seven.
Yeah. Wow,
posting through the sending zone.
Go to bear. The door's open, baby. You can just go outside. I know it's dark and you're afraid of the dark, but you don't need me. I promise. You're a big grown woman. She doesn't think so.
Okay.
Anthony Chesspawn said,
Oh my
dibs,
god,
dibs,
dude.
dibs, 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 dibs,
Yeah,
dibs,
exactly.
dibs, 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 dibs.
Exactly like that. Just as annoying too.
Yes.
Yeah.
You got your own AI voice to handle your sendings.
It's a better effect.
Okay, so you meet Leosin on the way towards the palace right out front. He kind of walks forward and greets you, and Dala kind of turns towards you, Arthur, and gives a little curtsy bow and removes her arm from yours, and she smiles. I'll take my leave. I suppose I'll see you inside.
I'd like to. I'll bow to her as well, nicely, and give her a little kiss on the hand as she leaves.
Why don't you give me a performance check?
I think I'm good at those. I'm not. I don't think. Actually, I don't think I am good at performance. Am I? I think I have 5 in performance.
Go ahead. Put on a show.
Ooh, 24. We out here 19.
Damn.
We got.
I like. He rizzes her so hard that like I jump dramatically and fall into the bar and gore, and they had to like support me.
I got you, Bryn.
She smiles and kind of blushes a little bit and turns as she leaves and heads inside. Leosin kind of looks at you and raises an eyebrow, like,
When your only companions are a half orc and, well, Leah gets cranky sometimes. You'll understand, Leosin.
Aw.
Leah's just
I'm-
gonna kind of cut her eyes over at Arthur.
I don't believe
I-
I've had the pleasure of meeting you, Leah. My name is Leosin Erlanthar.
Hi.
I also stare daggers over Mel's shoulders.
Leah's
because
going
Arthur
to
didn't mention me at all.
Leah's gonna take her hand and kiss the top of her hand.
Her own
and...
hand.
What?
Your own
Are you
hand
kissing your
or
own hand?
Whose hand? Oh,
No, the
Oh,
woman.
I thought she already left.
Leosin
Oh yeah,
introduced me.
she was leaving. This is Leosin.
I already
Sorry.
called
Oh.
dibs, Leah.
Yeah,
Jeez.
back off.
Jeez.
Wait, technically only I got the message.
Well, you were walking
Ooh.
further back. I figured you would pass it along.
right. You're right. I relayed the message in the same format with the same tone as the sending stone.
Just like on
Leah,
speakerphone.
did you want to do that before Dala departs?
Yes.
Okay. What did you want to do?
Yo,
I'm sorry.
dibs. Huh?
She said,
What did you want to do exactly?
I just wanted to grab her hand and kind of like bow and kiss the top of her hand and just look at her and tell her it was a pleasure meeting her.
Okay, go ahead and give me a performance check.
Oh, is it the same hand or the opposite hand? It's important.
Are you journalists?
You know what? I'm gonna do you one better. I'm gonna take both her hands.
Lick it.
Shit, you're gonna have her clasp her hands together and you're gonna kiss the clasped hand. Oh
No.
Oh.
Oh. Okay.
Tell me how it went, DM.
Kind of got a little bit of spit on the top of her hand, a little bit, kind of like
Yeah.
smiles and wipes it off a little bit. Thank you. I'll see you all inside. And she kind of turns to depart as Leosin approaches. Now he
Tragic.
introduces himself to Leah and to Gore, who are, as he calls them, new faces. And he looks around. What happened to Eve
And you mean Eve and
and
One Shoe?
Balthazar?
It's a long story. Leosin Balthazar fell in love, if you would believe it. We
Eye rolls.
we met another traveler on the road that claimed to be a member of one of the other factions of Faerun, and through exchanges of information on our part, apparently there were exchanges of other things on their part, and well, Balthazar left us when we reached just before we reached the Mirror of Dead Men at the oh goodness, the travel house. What's that place called? I always forget the name of that place. It's the easiest thing to
The
remember
Karnath Roadhouse?
The Karnath, yes, thank you. The Parnath Roadhouse, or Karnath. Is it Karnath or Parnath?
Karnath.
I thought it was Parnast.
That's the town.
Oh, you're right. Thank you.
Okay.
Parnast.
It's named after the guy who built it, isn't it?
I don't know.
Okay, good. Anyway, after he left us at the Roadhouse, and I went to both pursue her and assist her in her adventures, and Eve just recently departed. She decided that she would assist the giants with their mission in building an army to fight against the cult.
I believe she's searching for strength that maybe we're not really clear what her true journey is. She wasn't very forthcoming, but we respect her choices and let her do what she pleased.
I see. Well,
She also got mind controlled by a
Okay.
demon sword.
All right.
That-
We'll explain that. We'll explain
Redact.
that in the council. Our story is long, Leosin, and I imagine if we were to meet the council, they would also like to know of our adventures. You're more than
indeed.
you're more than welcome
And
to
this-
listen in at that time.
And this is perhaps not the best place for such tales. He kind of frowns at Gore, and then quickly looks away. Unfortunately, I will have to hear your story another time. I was asked to summon you here, but I don't have the privilege of attending the council. Someone else from the Harpers will be in my place. Look for Remy.
Remy
Remy.
LeBeau.
Oh, nice. We have Emma Frost and now we have fucking Gambit. Fuck yeah.
That's
Are we the X-Men?
Log in, bro.
Log in indeed. We're gathering all the mass together to be the Power Rangers, and we got the X-Men here. Fuck. Where's
Go, go,
Nightcrawler?
Power Ranger.
Yo.
Okay, we're looking for Remy. Perfect, Leosin. Thank you for your assistance. Is there some place we can catch up later?
Yes, I will wait outside the council chamber, and we could catch up when the council is concluded.
And who is Remy before we walk in?
Romalia Haventree. She is the representative, the delegate from the Harpers.
Harper
She is-
delegates. Got it.
Yeah, she is.
That's how I feel too.
Oh god, I gotta scroll. Sorry. There we go. She is a moon elf.
Oh,
Oh.
what?
A moon elf.
A moon elf.
Oh.
You can have the moon elf, Leah. Stay off of. I'm just kidding.
Fine.
Already calling them.
Oh no comes
Where's
for
the
Bryn. I
picture?
see.
No, no. Not that.
Of
Sorry.
of Remy.
Yeah, let's see it.
Yeah, come on.
Uh,
You didn't even give your rating yet. Usually.
Yeah, we know you
I
keep
was like,
a
I'm not
picture
gonna
in your
agree to
wallet,
give
bro.
up.
Oh, okay. Wait,
No.
hold up.
Okay, I agree to bow out from the other one, and
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
I
competing
will.
against Leah.
I figured you would. For the
Leah
stream.
is going to trip Bryn on
Tripping
his
over
way
down
into the
there.
room.
This is Romalia for the stream. If you're curious.
I will inform you that I'm nimble.
I will
so
inform. I'll have you
I
know.
will
if you
inform
trip
you
me,
I
I'm
am
just gonna
proficient
I'm
somersault.
very good
in
at my
sleight
somersault.
of hand.
Impress
Damn.
her further.
Gee, pretty.
We out here.
Okay,
It's been a long
I'm just.
adventure.
It's been a long,
It's been
a long 3 months on the road.
a
Oh
long
my goodness.
adventure.
Quinny, you just got here. We don't even know who you are.
Yeah, you're not here yet. You
You haven't even met her
I'm
yet.
you
not-
keep your hands to
I'm not
yourself,
even-
Queenie.
Excuse you.
Not
Yeah.
her. Not Quinny making comments from inside the council.
From
before
inside
we're
the
inside
council?
the castle. That's
Yeah,
crazy
no,
about
I
her.
know.
So
That's real bold of you.
actually, that's a good idea. I should do that. All right. I'm just
Who? Oh, did we get a title for Dalla? What is she?
she's just a Waterdavian noble.
Okay, that's right. What'd you call him? A Water Delvian?
Waterdavian?
Devian. That's a fun word, isn't it?
Waterdavian, yes. It's spelled, I don't know.
It's
Is it
fine.
VEAN or VIAN?
I assume
It's
it'd
like Phoenician, you know?
I assume it'd be VIAN.
It's like, yeah, it's like people from Phoenix are Phoenicians, you know?
Yeah, that's a fun word too. What did you tell me about the owl? What is it? A parliament of owls?
Oh, yes, a parliament of owls.
How
Yeah, it's-
regal.
I know.
It's spelled Waterdavian with an H in there.
Why is there gotta be an H? Now they're just churching it up.
Yeah.
It's shenanigans.
Gosh,
Why
I got
wouldn't it be
so distracted.
Deepian? Water deep? Never mind.
Deep
Oh
in.
my god.
Water
That makes
deeper
no
in.
sense.
A water deeper in.
Jesus. All right. We found the line, and then now we've crossed it. Now we can come back. Now we can come back like just one step on
further
Well,
over.
push it a,
on
push
this
it a little further.
on this.
Just push it a little further.
Playing hopscotch with it.
Not to be confused with their neighbors to the north, the Neverwinterins.
Then never. True. Never ends.
Okay,
like,
so
losing my train
Leosin,
of thought because y'all keep doing the funnies.
Leosin beckons you into the Lord's palace, and you pass several guards, enter through several chambers, climb some stairs until you find yourselves in a rather secluded area of the palace with several guards posted out front. And he ushers you towards the door, stops, and says, "I can go no farther, but I will wait here for you upon the conclusion of the council, and we can catch up then."
I bow slightly, thanking Leosin, and I bid him farewell.
And kiss his hand. I'm just kidding.
Yes, actually, yes.
Oh my god, stop
Absolutely.
kissing everyone's
I too want to do a performance check and kiss Leosin's
All
hand
right.
in
All
farewell.
right.
He's gonna roll so well, it's gonna crit, and then Leosin's gonna be pregnant.
Oh
I'm
my
gonna
god.
believe in you,
We're gonna
Leosin.
need another meme for that, I think.
Imagine. I can't. What happens if he rolls a 1?
Nice.
Oh, 16's not bad. That's
All right.
He awkwardly sucks a finger.
like lick the back of his hand a little bit. You keep that, okay? All right. Oh, Leosin ushers you into the council chamber, and as you enter,
Leosin just
see-
ignores my token, my gesture token. He's like, okay.
as you enter the you got
Ow.
what do you want him to do, buddy?
what do you
I don't know, bud. I don't know what I'm looking for. I'm not sure where I'm going. I'm just glad to be here, you know?
Yeah. We're glad you're here with us.
Okay, thank you. All right.
Also, if I don't catch this cherubi, I'm shutting my computer down and going to sleep.
What?
extreme?
Extreme times call for extreme measures.
Some people say extreme, some other people say dedicated, you know?
Desperate times.
Yeah.
Okay. So, anyways, you enter the council chamber. You see a large square-shaped table that's cocked 45 degrees so that it kind of fits the room, which is octagonal in shape there. And there's several chairs, although no one's sitting in any of them at this point. You see kind of four groups of people talking, including Dala, who seems to be near the back of the room with four other members that you don't really recognize at first. Go ahead and everybody can go ahead and make a history check.
Guys,
A whole
tell
0.
you about this history.
Oh, we out here rolling 19 stuff. Who needs a modifier when you're
Jonathan out here, Arthur out here reading all the books in the world.
Yeah.
Is Quinny also thinking about who this person is?
Probably, you don't know.
No, not
We've been
yet. God
introduced.
damn it, I didn't catch the trivia. All right, you guys have a good night.
I'd give it to you if I could.
Okay, Jonathan, you rolled highest, so why don't you pick one of the. You recognize Dala and you recognize Anthar.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and pick someone else out of the crowd.
I mean, is it a given that we kind of recognize Remy based on the description, or do we not even know her? Because I mean,
She is the only moon elf. You do notice another. Well, actually, let me give you kind of a basic description of them. What you see,
sure.
and then you can pick. That's probably better.
Is it necessary? I just know which one I'm gonna pick, unless you want to describe everyone. If you're,
Oh, that's fine. I'll kind of describe
Okay,
everyone
perfect.
briefly. So this is a moon elf.
Yep.
Female moon elf who you suspect is probably Remy, although you haven't confirmed it yet.
Gotcha.
You recognize Anthar, the male human paladin. You notice that this gentleman over here is a male half elf. You notice that there's several other humans here, including a female human standing next to Dala, a male human standing next to Dala, a shield dwarf, a wild elf standing here with the half elf. You see another male human here. I'm sorry, he's a male human. Actually, I think they all are. Oh, I just realized I made a mistake though. I have two of the same tokens instead of
This one and this one.
somebody. Yeah, one of them is supposed to be different. Hold on one second. Token.
Right, D&D is inherently racist. We can just chalk up to us thinking that they're the same person.
Yeah. My tokens. Oh. Wait.
They are the same person. He just can settle clones.
They're
They're
twins.
twins.
Jinx. You owe me dollar. Just kidding.
Hey, I already said you could have her, and I will take Remy. Okay.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm missing. Okay, I gotta.
So
Sorry, I have
good.
to make a. I have to make another token real quick. I don't know where my tokens are. They might be on my other computer. I don't think maybe they didn't get saved to my USB drive. I apologize. We'll take a ad break. Oh wait, no, they're right here. I'm stupid. I did save them. I just couldn't find them. I'm stupid in another way. All right, here we go. We're gonna fix this real quick. I don't.
Retcon the ad.
Yeah, I accidentally closed my browser here. Okay.
While you're doing that, I'm gonna like Coda out. She's freaking out.
Yeah.
Coda, what you do?
There
Come
we
on, try to go there.
Okay, you go away. You go here. All right. Okay. So yeah, so you see several other male humans that are part of the group. He's a male human here. These are all male humans here and here and here. There's a half elf down here and a wild elf over here. And then you notice shoot, what is Quinny's race, Laura?
FL.
Okay, she's half elf also. Okay. There's two half elves. And then the moon elf who you recognize is Remy. Probably. And since Jonathan stepped away,
I'm
the
here.
next highest is I'm sorry. Okay, so you can go ahead and pick someone that you want to
Yeah.
see if you recognize from the tales of history.
I mean, I'm going to pick out the only person that doesn't seem to belong to another faction. We have an idea who Remy is, so I want to know who this guy is. Emerald Enclave is not someone that we've. Oh, well, I'm sorry, that was out of character information. That they seem to represent a faction that we've not personally met yet. So
Yeah, so you do notice that this. There it is. Okay, you notice that this male half elf does bear a symbol of the Emerald Enclave. You recognize it. It is kind of like a moose-looking kind of profile with antlers, and he bears it on an emblem that he wears around his neck. You don't recognize him by name. You've heard no tales of him, but you do recognize that he is representing the Emerald Enclave, which is a faction that you have heard about. The Emerald Enclave is dedicated to maintaining the balance in the natural order and combating forces that would threaten that balance. Oftentimes, members of the Emerald Enclave live in the wilderness or in small communities rather than big cities like Waterdeep or Neverwinter. Um, and you, as you kind of scan the room, you kind of get the sense that he uh, feels out of place here. That he, um, he's not shy, but more cautious in his mannerisms. He's certainly not boisterous like Onthar is, but he's having a conversation with an elf that's in very hushed tones.
You said a wild elf, right? So it's a half elf talking with a wild elf.
Wild, yes.
I mean, okay, yeah, that doesn't really strike me as odd, I guess.
Yeah, it
Okay.
seems like they would have a stake of sorts. And we get
Yeah.
two, right? One.
Well, that was Arthur's. Brandon, you and Ulfgar both rolled 12. One of you go ahead and pick one.
Yeah, I definitely want to know more about this gentleman here, the one that's standing off to the side with
Sure.
the bearded
That-
gentleman.
That's funny. I was gonna choose the dwarf.
Yeah, they seem like in charge of like almost security. I feel like there would be a history about them.
So, you recognize he's not wearing any symbols or anything that denotes his membership in anything, but he does uh look very experienced, very old, I guess, but still in good health. And in fact, you do recognize this man as Thunder Spells. He was at one point the High Mage of Silvery Moon, which is a city far to the north in the Silver Marches, and you recognize that his likeness, I guess. Um, you don't
Is
recall his real name, but you know that the nickname that he has earned is as a powerful wizard is Thunder Spells.
Kyra.
Yo, what's up,
Oh.
Nancy?
Hello.
Hi, friends.
Hi.
So,
Brandon there?
yeah.
Hey, asshole, you forgot to go to my hot pot party.
Hey, I was quite drained that day, so I didn't show up.
So is he a
It's okay.
human?
I'm used to it.
yeah, he is a male human.
Okay.
But it's okay, because I know how to make up for it.
Nancy, I love you, but we're streaming and we're in the middle of a game.
Yeah.
What are you guys playing?
Playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh.
Twitch.tv/darkwolf1352.
Yep.
You can totally message in the chat.
That means
Yes,
I can stop talking then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. Well,
Did you move to Dallas?
we're not supposed to talk right now, okay, Caitlin?
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. We'll chat later. I'll catch you guys later.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Akko Taco.
I like how Kahan immediately engages her in more conversation.
I know.
It's like,
All right.
Hey, man.
It was an Akko Taco. Let's eat it and move on.
Yep.
All right. So, Ulfgar, you want to know about the Shield Dwarf?
Yeah.
You recognize this dwarf as a rather famous ambassador from Mithril Hall, a kingdom of dwarves also far to the north near the Silvery Marches. You can't recall his first name, but you do know he is from a long line of brawn anvils.
What does that mean?
He
That
is
he's
a
black.
Yeah, he is a Braun Anvil dwarf. Like
That's his
Bruner is
family
a
I
name.
don't know what that is.
that's his clan name.
Okay. Okay.
Much like Bruner is from Clan Battlehammer.
Okay. I understand that. Okay.
Okay. Let's see, we've got one more. Let's go with Mel. You got an 11.
I wanted to know about that one.
Yes. You surely recognize from the tales of lore Lady Laurel Silverhand. Lady Laurel.
It's a female human.
She is a female human, and she is rather well known in these parts. Let's see here. Wait, what?
Indeed.
What indeed? That's what happened. I see. Okay. Oh well, whatever. So yeah, she is present here. She's very well known as one of the nobles and lords of Waterdeep. She is well known for her spellcasting ability as well. And in fact, if I'm not mistaken, maybe I am mistaken. I don't want to misspeak. Let me just double check this. She is the partner, wife, spouse of one Kelvin Blackstaff Arunson, who is also a powerful archmage, if the tales are true. So she is certainly no one that should be trifled with, although she seems to be quietly listening to the men try to impress Dala with their own performance checks. And with that, we will allow you guys to start moving around the room as you kind of enter. You scan the room, and a few of you recognize some of the more familiar faces. But Onthar turns and smiles and claps his hands and begins kind of walking over towards you. Ho ho! Well now, if it isn't the mighty Ulfgar and Arthur and Finn.
Ulfgar.
I
Why?
salute him.
How you have grown.
we've
Hello,
we've
sir.
definitely endured many a hardship before reaching here today.
Indeed, indeed. Come, let me introduce you. All will be told.
All right, we love to be introduced and met with the group that you were congregating with today.
Indeed,
Leah's
indeed.
gonna look at Bren and be like, "Who's your friend?"
Ah, I am Onthar Food. I am the leader of the Order of the Gauntlet.
Oh, nice to meet you,
And who might you be?
Leah.
Ah, Leah. Well, if you find yourself in the company of these good men, then certainly you have found a way to make your way in this world.
I like to think so, but it's lovely meeting you.
Except when she's trying to steal your woman. I'm just kidding.
And you,
Call me
You
Miss
kinda
Studio Girl.
is that Thor? You're a big fella.
How's it going?
Not the point.
Eve transitioned. This is Eve. I'm just kidding.
Oh my God.
His crazy spell backfired. actually.
Pleasure to meet you, Anthar.
Wanda.
Before.
Ah, yes. Right this way. I will introduce you. And the rest of the nobles kind of look up as you enter and then turn back to their conversations as Onthar starts taking you around the room a little bit. Ah, here we are. My pleasure to
Oh my
introduce
god.
you. What?
Why is everyone on top of each other?
That's how we get down. Like I said, it's been a long adventure.
It is my pleasure to introduce you to Ramalia Haventree.
Leo's
The
going
heart-
to hip check everyone out of the way.
Me.
Yes, I believe Leosin mentioned that you should be the one that we greet, as well as Anthar here.
Ah, yes, Leosin. He is a trusted ally and dear friend. Welcome.
I
Thank you for joining us at the council.
thank you for having us, and I bow. I bow slightly.
Okay.
And who's the third member of your group here?
Ah, this is Quinny.
Hello.
She
He,
Sorry, I had to. I'm sorry.
no, Queenie's over here like, no one's gonna kiss my hand. Come on,
Yeah, like
I'm not.
I'm sad.
Hey. Don't shit where you eat. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah.
Shut up.
True.
Fake cries in the corner.
Already.
Quinny here has expressed some interest in assisting us with the cult of the dragon. I was hoping she might be able to join your little group.
Ooh,
Heard a lot about you. I'm a big fan. I want to help.
there's a lot to like.
Our group is
I could see that.
our group has been through a lot. It takes quite a bit more than just introduction to be welcome to our party. But if you prove that you're trustworthy, then I'm sure we can always use another pair of hands.
Of course, of
Agreed.
course.
We're also just recently lost some estrogen in our party, so you're a welcome addition.
True. Even if it was,
Who killed me off?
even I don't know how much estrogen was really in Eve, but it's gotta.
Damn.
He was taking
Hey man,
supplements.
Leo's
before
just
there
gonna
was
look around and
any
be
other
like, "Am I
woman,
chopped
there was
liver?"
only Eve. Before any other woman, there was only Eve.
It's true.
That's the only estrogen I could ever need.
That's sad. I was
Maybe
the biggest Eve fan. I wanted
Oh.
her autograph
Oh
too.
my god.
I want a big
You would-
hug, but
You
sad
would have
thing.
loved
I hope
her.
she was well.
Look at this mushroom on my longbow. That's her. That's
falling.
her right there.
That's her.
maybe she can join us for dinner and we can get to know each other.
That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Am I
Perfect. Thank you.
invited to dinner?
I'm gonna say it. Leah's going to step forward and ask her if she would like to join me. I mean, us for dinner.
You're talking to Remy, or are you talking to Quinny?
Both.
All right.
Sure.
She's greedy.
I
It's been a
accept
long
your
trip.
invitation.
She's greedy.
Uh,
Uh,
I accept your invitation. Yeah, she smiles.
Leo smiled back.
Oh, it's Quinny. I want to keep saying it Queenie. QUI.
I'm sorry, you're welcome too. And I put
Oh.
my hand on his shoulder.
We do have some catching up to do.
Yes.
Um,
Okay, so do we have time before the council meeting starts?
Yes, we'll be starting soon. But go ahead and introduce yourselves to everyone.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Ulfgar won the drinking contest. So I think Anthar owes Ulfgar a drink. Just saying.
Just saying.
There'll be
They're
plenty of
drinking
time.
in the council room.
There'll be plenty of time for that once we stop the cult of the dragon.
Boo.
Pull a whole keg out of the bag of holding.
Fucking square.
Square. Okay. Well,
Okay.
I believe our party is familiar with a few of these individuals, though we've never met them in person. And I'll just, gesture to some of the people that we recognize, that our party recognized. But
Can we inquire about the half elf from the Emerald Enclave?
Names and such.
Yes.
And then
yes.
the wild elf.
Yes, yes, of course, Anthar says, and he kind of points across the room, drawing the attention of everybody. That one over there is Dalan, and he's talking to King Melodrak.
Wait, what? Who's who?
Galan is the green one, and King Melindrak is the red one.
The one. Heck, Melondrak?
Anthony, you know what to do,
Melindrops?
baby.
we've been through that. Sorry.
You know what to do.
I was literally gonna do like melon, like watermelon, and then like the DRAAK that he put in there earlier.
Okay. His new name is Melon. Got it.
Melindrop.
King Melon?
He's a
Melandra?
character from
How would you
Animal
pronounce that?
Crossing now.
Melandra?
Melondrock. Yeah. Melondrock.
Okay.
Oh,
King
okay.
Melon,
I was like,
got
I
it.
was waiting for it to show up in the chat, and it's over here.
No. I like King Melon better.
King.
Every time
huh?
we talk to him, we should just mispronounce his
Who
title every
is-
single time.
We always end up renaming characters anyways.
Who is he king of?
Yeah.
Melons.
That's got the edgiest last name.
What kind of melons? Like, are we talking watermelons? Are we talking like a
The
cantaloupe?
Draconicon.
He is
The ones on your
Melindrock.
chest, Leah.
Ramalia kind of steps up and lowers Anthar's hand as the groups kind of return to their own conversations, and she smiles. King Melodrak is king of the Misty Forest. He is the delegate for the elves on behalf of both the Misty Forest and the High Forest.
Would Leah know much about all that since she's a high elf?
It depends on where you're from, but perhaps.
You said also representing the High Forest, right?
Indeed.
We've recently acquired a teleportation circle into the high forest. Maybe we can discuss with King Melondrock if he knows of any such location that that might take us to.
Oh, indeed. Perhaps you will.
I'm making that note.
right back.
And okay.
Okay.
So Delon is just an Emerald Enclave delegate. We don't know much about him. So he's a delegate from the Emerald Enclave. Looks kind of out of place.
Mm-hmm.
King Melondrock is the king of the Misty Forest. He's the delegate for the elves of the Misty Forest and the High Forest. Okay. So that covers those two. The gentleman beyond Anthar's shoulder, one of them is Thunder Spells. He's a male human. What's up with him again?
Ah, yes. Aaron Hornblade.
Terran. Okay.
Nobody here calls him Thunder Spells.
Got it. It's one of those reputation precedes him kind of thing.
Indeed.
Does he appreciate the nickname or?
Depends on his mood.
Fair enough. I'm sure it's probably different depending on how it's said.
Indeed.
Horny Blade? I say that
What?
to myself. Taern.
What did it come back to?
Horny blades.
Miss
Anyway,
has her own horn?
who is
His
he?
fighting style.
He is. Well, he was the High Mage of Silvery Moon for many years, but after Lady Elestriel took over, he ceded that role to her son, Methramar. And although Mithramar remains the leader of Silvery Moon and is a member of the Lord's Alliance, he is not much of a diplomat.
But he's a delegate of Silvery Moon.
Indeed, he is a delegate from Silvery Moon, sent here by Mithramar in his place.
Got it. Second in command to Mithramar, whatever the hell that is. D&D Wiki, go! Okay, there it is. Thank you.
Mithramar,
Math.
who is the current leader of Silvery Moon and the son of its most famous ruler, Lady Illustrial.
I do know who Lady Illustrial is. I know who a Silvery Moon is, because I've read the Grist books.
Yes. So, Mithramar is her son, and
Illustrial?
he is
Okay.
he is also the High Mage of Silvery Moon now, although Thunder Spells held that title at one point.
Gotcha. Illustrial's she's pretty powerful. She's nothing to joke around about. She also really likes Drizzt, so I like her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. And then Ulfgar here knew or recognized a little bit about the Brawn Anvil clansman.
Yes. If you want to talk about a drinking competition, there's none better than Ambassador Conrad, son of Bannock.
Be right back.
Hey, if I can't beat you, I can beat him.
He once was the king of Mithril Hall, in fact.
Once?
He is here as the delegate for the dwarves of the north, including Citadel Adbar and Citadel Felbar.
Okay. It's not it's dwarf clans, right? Dwarves they go by clans, yeah? I was about to say something other word than clans. I couldn't remember. Okay, so he's a delegate of the Northern Dwarf clans, including what?
Mithril Hall,
Okay.
Citadel Adbar, and Citadel Felbar.
Citadel Allah Akbar and
Adbar and Felbar.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
We haven't talked about Marshall, right? Marshall Older.
Not yet.
Okay. Okay. Just
I'm
I'm trying to.
Sorry, I'm trying to keep all my notes straight.
Me too. I'm trying to make sure I got all the characters here properly.
So, we had a brief interaction with Lady Dala up there, Lady Silmerhelve. She claimed to be a Waterhavian noble. Is there anything more to her story?
Well, she seems to know about the Drakhorn, although she won't tell us exactly how.
Yes, she did inform me inform us that that was the cause of the disturbances throughout the city.
Are you unfamiliar with the
Yes, they've been-
Drakhorn too, or is this something that you are also familiar with?
I know about as much as you do. It's been sounding every once in a while for the last several weeks.
So it's kind of a newer development.
Indeed. It's hard to detect it unless you're somewhere quiet and peaceful.
So it's something that you can barely hear, but definitely seems like it's something people can feel.
Indeed.
And then it was. Oh, what the hell just happened? I don't know what just lost everything. Oh no, okay, we're good, I think. There we go. So she has information in regards to the Dragonhorn. The lady next to her, was it Leah that recognized something of her? Laurel? Is that correct?
Yes. Lady Laurel Silverhand, the wife of Lord Helman Blackstaff Arunson.
I imagine she's more important than just the wife of someone to be here amongst the rest of you.
She is one of the seven sisters.
Oh,
The
What is
Seven
that?
Sisters.
The Blessed of Maestra.
Oh,
um, so not quite an anchor, but pretty damn good.
One might say. There is no one to be trifled with.
Gotcha. And who is she here to represent?
And she's part of the Lord's Alliance.
I see. And can you type out the group that she's in? You said one of the seven blessed what?
One of the seven sisters,
Seven sisters.
chosen of Mistra.
Oh,
So she's like, I probably a step below Elminster, step below Volo, step below Minsk.
Yeah, there's a rumor that the seven sisters are actually Maestra's daughters.
Gotcha.
Ooh.
So she would be kind of
busy.
she'd be on par with Dame Aelin, basically,
Mhm.
That's
as
a big
the
statement.
child of a goddess.
Gotcha. All right. Okay. Then, I mean, there's 3 others that we don't know about.
Yep.
We knew nothing about these 3. Are these guys, is that one a lady or are they all 3 guys? I can't tell.
They're all men.
Oh, I
They're
see.
all men.
Okay, I couldn't tell the top right. Was okay. Yep, zoomed in now. Okay, could we go in like clockwise formation to the right of Dala around the table?
Sure. So Remy and Antar point out Sir Isteval, who
Sir
is also a
Isteval.
member of the Lord's Alliance. Antar is pleased to inform you that he is a fellow paladin.
Gotcha. So
Okay.
he's a male human paladin?
Male human paladin.
A paladin of whom, may I ask?
You may. He is a paladin of Lathander.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. God of Light.
Indeed. He
Um,
was. He is a former adventurer and a purple dragon knight of Cormyr.
oh, wow. That's cool. So I assume he's a delegate from the Purple Knights?
Indeed.
Yeah, good for him.
He is a delegate from Cormyr.
Okay. Cormyr.
What's his first name? It's something
Just
Esteval?
Sir Esteval. Esteval? That's all we got. I don't think we got our first name. Just Sir Esteval. He's a knight, so.
Yeah. I think Isteval is his first name, actually. Last name.
Okay. Perfect.
Kind of like Messi, you know? I guess that is
Just-
his last name. Pele? I don't know. Kobe? Sir Kobe? Sir Elton John.
Sir Elton John. He was actually knighted. All right. Below. Who's below Sir Esteval? Isteval, not Esteval. Isteval.
Antar kind of raises an eyebrow. That's Lord Dagult Neverember, the Open Lord of Waterdeep.
Great.
Never heard of him?
I recognize the name, but I've never been to Waterdeep to confirm the face.
The Lord Protector of Neverwinter and the leader of the Lord's Alliance. He is the Open Lord of Waterdeep.
Okay. So I assume is he also? I guess he's the delegate of Waterdeep. That would make sense, wouldn't it?
Indeed.
And he's just a human male. Nothing special about him that we know of.
No.
Male human. Got it. And then to his left.
Marshal Uldor Ravengard of the Flaming Fist.
All the way from Baldur's Gate, huh?
Indeed.
Guess we've brought from all over.
He is the leader of the Flaming Fist. military might of Baldur's Gate.
Not anymore. He's not. He died this afternoon. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Different guy. Different guy. Okay. Male human.
Remember, you didn't save. Maybe that's a sign. You have to redo
Computer
it.
crashed. Retconning everything. The timeline has been disrupted.
It wasn't canon.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Although Baldur's Gate is, excuse me, Remy tells you this, not Antar. She kind of whispers, not whispers, but her voice drops another octave, and she kind of hisses. Although Baldur's Gate is still recovering from the havoc caused by the resurrection within the city of Baal, the god of murder, the metropolis remains one of Faerun's most populous, wealthy, and powerful cities.
Really?
The resurrection of wow.
Did this happen in the last 2 months since we've been there? No, I get it. Okay, so we have. Let's see, make sure I have everybody up here correct. So let's go clockwise. So I've got Dellin is a male half elf. He's the delegate of the Emerald Enclave. We don't know much more about him.
Yes.
Then we have King Melindrak. He is a male wild elf. He is the king of the Misty Forest, and he's a delegate for the elves of the Misty Forest and the High Forest.
Yes.
And then we have Laurel Silverhand. Lady Laurel. She is
Laurel.
It's Laeral.
I spelled it. I'm sorry, I spelled it wrong. It's Lae. Yeah.
She is a female
Laeral. It's Laeral.
Lady Laurel. Okay. She is a female human to the best of our knowledge, but she is one of the 7 sisters chosen in Mistra, and she's a member of the Lord's Alliance. Then we have Marshal Older Ravengard. He is a male human, leader of the Flaming Fist. Then we have Dala. She is a Waterhavian noble. She's just presenting right now as a female human to the best of our knowledge. But she claims to have knowledge about the Drakenhorn or Drakhorn. Drakhorn. Okay. And then we have Lord Dagalt Neverember. He is the Open Lord of Waterdeep. Then we have Sir Istival. He is a delegate. He's a paladin of Lathander and a delegate of Cormyr, as well as being a Purple Dragon Knight. Then we have Taryn Hornblade. He's a male human delegate of Silvery Moon, second in command to Methramar. How's a male human the delegate of Silvery Moon? How's he second in command? Anyway, good for him. And then we have Conrad Braun Anvil. He's a male shield dwarf. He's the delegate of the Northern Dwarf clans, including Mithrahal, Citadel Adbar, and Citadel Feldbar. And then we have Ramalia Remy, and she's a Harper delegate, female human.
Moon elf.
Oh, that's right. I'm so sorry. Moon elf. Madam Haventree, do you hold any other titles than being a delegate of the Harpers?
No.
Great.
My future wife.
And I'm sorry, Leah. Sorry, Leah, you're not getting any titles or holds. And Madam Queenie, whom are you a delegate of? Whom do you represent?
Represent my guild.
No, that would be.
I don't know.
Go on.
To be honest, I haven't thought that far, but
You have
we'll
a
say
month.
fairy tale.
Improv. Good job. Good thing we got time. What are you a guild? Are you a guild master in Waterdeep?
Yeah.
So your family has a history here in Waterdeep, and you probably have many connections to the merchants here. I imagine that's probably very helpful.
I like shiny things, so yes.
Me too.
Well, yeah, you're in good company there.
You're among your
I
own.
imagine the council is in need of many shiny things. I can't imagine fighting the cults on a grand scale is cheap. So, perfect. I think that covers everyone, and of course we do have Onthar, but Onthar is Onthar. Is he?
Sorry.
He's obviously the leader of the Order of the Gauntlet. He is a paladin of. Oh man, don't tell me I know. I don't know. I do know.
He is a paladin of Lathander.
He is a paladin of Torm.
Yes.
Oh, wait, what?
He's a male paladin
Yep.
of Torm.
Oh, you're talking about Onthar. Whoops.
Yes, Onthar. And remind me again, Arthur is a member of the Harpers.
Correct.
Bryn and Ulfgar are both members of the Order.
Temporarily.
I don't think
The
you
Gaunt-
temporarily joined the Order of the Gauntlet.
Well, I remember my terms with the order was that I'd be in
that
a
was
mutually
temporary.
beneficial relationship since we share the same desire
Okay.
to dismantle the
I
cult.
think we swore oaths.
I thought it was temporary. I don't know.
Was that not penciled in with the oath?
How do you temporarily swear an oath? I
Temporary
swear
oath?
this oath conditions upon the condition of such and such.
That's what
I
have
mean,
here.
Anthony,
So-
do you remember?
I don't remember.
Oh.
So I apologize for that. But yeah, so you guys note that, right? So Jonathan pointed out something that's interesting, if not important. But Antar, Ramalia, and Delon all are representatives of organizations, you know, that are known to be, well, at least opposed, obviously, to the intentions of the cult of the dragon. The Emerald Enclave is probably the least good. They're more of a neutral organization, but they really want to maintain the balance of the world. And so, obviously, bringing Tiamat back from the Hells and plunging all of Faerun into, war against the dragons is not in something that they look forward to. Obviously, the Harpers are kind of a spy network, but they seek to promote good and defeat evil, whereas the Order of the Gauntlet does it more openly, um, proclaiming themselves champions against evil and such. The rest of the individuals are all part of the Lord's Alliance, which is what it sounds like. It's an alliance of the lords of the major cities in Faerun. So you have Braun Anvil is the ambassador for the dwarves. Melindrak is the ambassador for the elves, and then the rest of them are, for the most part, delegates from particular cities, which form the Lord's Alliance. There's Ravengard, who's from Baldur's Gate. Neverember, who is both the Open Lord of Waterdeep and the Lord Protector of Neverwinter. Sir Istebal, who hails from Cormyr, and then Tarn Hornblade, who is from Silvery Moon. So, and then Lady Laurel is also from Waterdeep. So the Lord's Alliance is formed of representatives from major cities, or in some cases even whole races, whereas Remy, Antar, and Delon are not tied to any particular location, but
Yeah.
rather an organization.
How do the people
Gotcha.
feel about Lord Degalt or Lord Neverember being the Open Lord of Waterdeep and the Lord Protector of Neverwinter?
He is he holds many titles and wears several crowns. But he certainly also looks the part of such an impressively titled figure. He is tall and broad-shouldered with a thick beard and a wild mane of hair. And he is, behaves as one you might imagine how a king should behave, I guess. He's strong and decisive in his rulings and always acts for the good of his subjects in the realm.
But how
He
committed is he to the cause of eliminating the cult? I mean, if we lost him, that's two metropolis-sized cities that we're losing.
Indeed. He, he, yeah, he represents both Neverwinter and Waterdeep, and he strongly supports the Lord's Alliance, um, and what they represent. So, he is certainly an important figure here, perhaps the most powerful man in the room.
Sure. Yeah.
You can see that.
Um. All right. Well, now that we know the history, I guess we can. If you'd like to, Anthar or Ramalia, Queenie, even if you would like to guide us or support us in introduction, so we can meet anyone, or unless they'd like to do it all at once, I'm sure we can arrange that as well.
Yeah, in fact, at this point, Lord Neverember kind of walks over and grabs a dagger and off the table and kind of bangs the pommel of it down on the table, calling the meeting to order. Everyone, please take your seats.
Is there assigned seats or?
Is there?
Uh,
I like to poke out from the back. Is there a seating chart?
there's no seating chart, but everyone kind of just grabs the
Too late.
chair
I'm already there.
closest.
I'm just kidding.
Bro, it's not letting me sit in the chair properly. What the?
Press Control or
Yeah,
Alt, one of the two. I don't remember.
it's a hold alt.
Alt.
Yeah.
Never sit in a chair before, Gore. Look at
Jesus.
this
They're just
dude.
too big. They're just too small for him. I get it. I like how you all took Remy's and Anthar's seat. You guys are like, fuck them.
I will stand by
Sit in my
Arthur.
lap. It's okay.
I'll stand. Go ahead,
I'll
Bryn.
stand.
I mean, there's a chair over here.
Oh,
Oh,
I
I'm
will
sorry.
stand
Gal-
in front of
Gal
the
is not
chair.
supposed to be in a chair. That's one.
Uh,
Okay, there we go.
I'll change my color to pink real quick.
We have an extra seat. You can just scoot everybody down, I think.
Oh. Oh, there is an extra chair. Okay.
Yeah, y'all just making her stand is crazy about y'all.
Gore, scoot down a chair.
She kind of walks up behind Bryn and
1 sec.
nods over
Oh.
at the other chair next to Ulfgar and Gore.
Of course, of course.
Okay, never mind.
Yes. I
was
have to read
totally-
the sending stone one more time. Yes, 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 25 times.
I don't know. The cooldown's not up.
I know. I'm just kidding. Clearly, we're
goofy
not.
ass.
I know it's like once per day. I'm not actually wasting
know.
the sending stone.
Actually, dude. Okay, cool.
But it's funny.
Okay.
It's funny.
So,
I'm laughing.
I'm literally laughing.
You got me.
For real this time.
so
Seriously though, like I kind of glance around at the party. I mean, it's the Arthur's kind of like I wouldn't say in shock, but the fact that we're in the same room and as all of these people. I mean, we've clearly just been introduced to honestly some of the most powerful people in Faerun. Like as Anthony described, like leaders of factions, leaders of like races, like delegates from the race of elves, from delegates of the race of dwarves. We have Lord Neverember here, like, and the fact that the 6 of us, the 5.5 of us, if you count Quinny, like we're all sitting here. This is yeah, I mean, this is a lot. This is a lot.
Dang. And I was over here flexing our titles at Greenness, and they probably
Yeah, protector of Greenest.
I saved Greenness, no big D.
To be fair,
I like flex my bicep. That's not that big.
okay. So Lord Neverember waits for everyone to take their chairs and then motions to the assembled lords and says, "We have heard several reports from Onthar Leosid, and other witnesses. But we wish to hear from you exactly what has transpired over the last few months. Please tell us what happened once you made your way to Greenest.
Wow.
Do you want the whole story, or what would you like the big?
How?
I
Yeah,
mean,
how shall we proceed this? Because we could we could bust out the archives.
I got notes all the way from July 28th of 2022. How far we want to go back?
Spare no details. This
Jesus.
is a this is an open council, and we must all know the facts before we can debate the course of action.
Okay. Do we just want to run through the quick ones, the bullet points, and I'll run through big bullet points, and you guys can fill any details you think are necessary?
Necessary? Yeah. Fine.
Okay. We all met by circumstance. Trav was on the road heading east towards Greenest when we all encountered the raid of the town by the Cult of the Dragon. There was an adult blue dragon that was attacking, as well as many cult members, and the 5 of us at the time, I think, myself, Ulfgar, Bryn, maybe just 4 actually. Eve wasn't there yet, so it was myself, Ulfgar, Bryn, and Balthazar. We approached the town and proceeded to help. We pushed the cult out of Greenest as quickly as we could. At the time, we actually met a companion of ours named Eve, a half-orc who has now departed our party, which we'll get to later. We saved many members. However, we also suffered some defeats. But in the end, with the help of the mayor of Greenest, who was Mayor Nighthill, actually he was the governor, Governor Nighthill, and I believe his Castellan Escobar, they helped us in pushing out the cult. We then were asked to assist further by a I believe it was a Nessim Waladra. They informed us that Leosin Elenthar, who is apparently a member of the Harpers, had been taken captive. I don't believe Nessim knew that. They were just friends at the time. But Leosin was taken captive, and we agreed to help further. So we visited the camp. We attempted to infiltrate it under the darkness of night, but myself and Ulfgar were captured along with Leosin, but Bryn and Eve and Balthazar were able to spring us later that evening. So Leosin was saved. We brought him back to Greenest while he was injured and recovered. And then we were sent back by Mayor or Governor Nighthill to essentially clear out the cave, clear out the cultist camp. So we did so. We went and cleared out the cultist camp. We identified the camp leader there as a Frulam Mondath, as well as one of their warriors, a Langdedrosa was a dragon or a half dragon. We ended up killing both of those members, and we found further evidence of cult dealings with the leader of the cult in the area, Resmir. After that, we took some of the dragon eggs from the cave and brought them back to Greenest to give them to Leosin. At that point, Leosin I believe, had already departed for El Terrell, and we took the eggs as well as Langdedrosa's body with us from Greenest to El Terrell, at which point we met Onthar and Leosin, who had recovered, and informed them of our dealings. It was determined that Langdedrosa was not going to be any use to us as far as information goes, so he was buried, and I believe we turned the eggs over to both the Order and the Harpers to do with as they see fit. we were then tasked. Well, we signed or we agreed. We formed an allegiance with the Harpers, and the Order, if not in oath, then certainly in a shared goal to attempt to continue to rid the cult of the dragon from resurrecting Tiamat. We learned a little bit more about the full mission there. And we set out from Elenthar. Is that what it is? I forget. I'm sorry.
Elturel?
Elturel, thank you. Elturel. We set out from Elturel towards Baldur's Gate, which took us a couple of weeks. So we traveled down the river a little bit. We got to Baldur's Gate. We were looking for Resmir. We got word that she was traveling north up the coastway towards Baldur's Gate. And we intercepted, well, we were a little late. We missed Resmir, but we were able to intercept a caravan that was transporting members of the cult as well as treasures. And we got hired on as guards there, and essentially blended in with the caravan and made our way up through Daggerford and up to the Parnas Roadhouse. We defended the caravan. It was a 2-month travel. Eve was infected by mushrooms, and we rescued another member of the Harpers. I hope he's okay, actually. I don't recall his name,
I
but
think
man, maybe I have it somewhere. I think we were the high road on the 1st of December. Where is that?
was it
Um,
Stratosphere, right?
oh man. Yeah, I don't think I have his name. That's sad. Oh, yes, I do. Carlin. Carlin Amofel. He's a human. He's a male human. That was on the 20th of October. We saved him from a hole. Apparently, he got in some trouble. So,
Yeah,
You
very
see,
neck deep.
you see Remelia kind of smile and nod in your direction as you recount the tale of saving her fellow Harper.
We maintained our. Well, we did our best to maintain our cover. And at that point, we did meet another gnome who claimed to be a member of one of the other factions, Jamna Gleamsilver. She was very observant, and she picked us out pretty quickly, but luckily she was more interested in forming a relationship with our companion Balthazar than turning us over to the cult or to anyone else. But we were able to gather some information from her in regards to other people who are on the caravan, such as Asbara Joss. And we continued up towards the Parnas Roadhouse. When we arrived to the Parnas Roadhouse, we did some more investigating and found that the treasures were being taken from the wagons through a secret passage into the Mirror of Dead Men to a location called Castle Neritar. And we were able to follow that down. The cult had allied themselves with the local lizard folk by killing their cleric, as well as the bullywugs. They had formed an alliance with them and their cleric. So we were able to ally ourselves with the lizard folk by offering them assistance, more or less, in destroying the bullywugs, as well as ridding the castle and the swamp of the cult there, which we did. It was a hard-fought battle, but when we first arrived, we actually lucked upon Resmir herself in her sleeping quarters. Again, we infiltrated the castle at night and made it pretty far. Actually, we made it all night, but midway through, we did interrupt Resmir in her sleep, and after a brutal but brief battle, we killed her. We ended Resmir. We took her black dragon mask, and I point to Leah. Leah, if you'd like to present that. We also found our companions here, Leah and Gore. They joined us at Castle Neritar. They were on their own mission to discover their missing friend, as well as a treasure that had been stolen from them by a half-dragon companion of theirs, Zahak, who was also apparently a high member of the cult.
Was
Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy.
was not is.
What right? Who was a high leader of the cult. And so they joined, or they agreed to, well, at the time, a temporary alliance, but has bloomed into more of a companionship at this point. And with their help and the help of the lizard folk, we were able to flush the cultists out of the castle. And also, along with the Black Dragon Mask, we were also able to recover a legendary artifact. Ulfgar, peering over to Ulfgar, if you would.
Sure, I took it out of my bag of holding.
This is Hazaron. I don't encourage you to engage in conversation with it. It has proven itself loyal to the cult and distrustful of anyone else. It actually has invaded the mind of one of our party members, Eve, who you'll find is no longer with us. And it was not an easy thing to separate her from the sword once it had entered her mind. But as you can see, we have the sword, and I can confirm that Eve is as healthy as she can be physically, if not a little mentally broken up from the experience. So after clearing out Castle Neritar, we were able to kill the Bullywug cleric, the Bullywug shaman, in the which released the other Bullywugs from their service, as well as hoisting the lizard folk up. We followed them through a portal to a lodge in the middle of the mountains. I forget what mountain range that was called. Can anybody confirm what that mountain range was called? It was the Gray Peak Mountains, yes? Yes. So there was the portal led, or the transportation circle, rather, if we're being technical, led us to a lodge in the Gray Peak Mountains west of the city of Parnast, where we discovered that the cult was using the lodge here as a way of travel. There were several other transportation circles established around the lodge, which led to several other locations. Actually, I can pull those up if it matters at all, but I'll keep it brief. It doesn't matter. So several other locations: the Desert of Arnak, the High Forest, the Mirror of Deadmen,
King
and
Melindrak.
Water.
King Melindrak kind of frowns when you mention the High Forest, but he doesn't interrupt you.
Understood. However, we have secured the lodge as of now. As I mentioned, we have allied ourselves with the lizard folk of the swamp in the Mirror of Deadmen, and they have agreed to secure the location for now. It is in the middle of the mountains, so it is hard to get to by foot, and we have done our best to secure the portals as well as we could without entering them and risking the information that we had acquired at the lodge. We then traveled to the city of Parnast, where we unfortunately were set upon by the guard there. The cult had infiltrated the town almost completely, and so we were forced to fight most of the city guard, or the town guard. Excuse me, hiccups. And we confiscated 3 wyverns, and actually were able to fly those to a floating castle that the cultists were using as allies to a cloud giant named Lagothkis, right? He's a storm giant. Is he a storm giant or a cloud giant?
I'm sorry.
I think he's
I said
Cloud.
Storm giant earlier, but I think he is a cloud giant. Yes.
Okay, so he's a cloud giant. Where we attempted to infiltrate the first time and were rebuffed by the earlier mentioned Zahak. However, after regrouping and allying ourselves temporarily with another member of the cult, Talus, she was able to grant us access there one more time, in which at that time we allied ourselves with Blagothkis as well, by killing Zahak and presenting his head to the giant, taking Talus prisoner, and then by chasing off the white dragon, whatever the hell his name is, I forget. Glazel,
Glazel.
the Cloud Chaser.
That fucker.
At the time, Eve was struck down many times, but endured. My friend Bryn here, unfortunately, succumbed to his injuries momentarily, but through some quick thinking from my party, we were able to bring him back. And Glazel departed barely with his life. Unfortunately, that was not enough for Blagothkus. He wanted us to rid the entire castle of the cultists. However, we were able to convince him to only, to only the highest ranking members. And it seemed that the next highest ranking member was a vampire there by the name of Sandysil Morgia. And again, after a struggle with her, we were able to keep her out of her hold on the morning of, and we fought her and killed her there. So Blagothkus honored his agreement with us to take us where we needed to go. Eve decided to stay in order to work through the pains of how I forget the sword's name. Harazon. Hazaron, thank you. Hazaron, as well as to help the giants build up their army in the fight against the cults to come. We were gifted the wyverns from Blagothkus as well, and we were able to take those from the lodge after securing it back to the Mirror of Deadmen, and then took the portal back from the lodge to Waterdeep, where we arrived earlier this morning. And we turned Talus over to one of the local authorities there with instructions to keep her safe, and advised them that she was a very important person and to not allow her to use her magic. We reestablished a kind of a foothold in the warehouse where our teleportation circle was held, and we resupplied as best we could in the shops here at Waterdeep before we were found by not only Leosin's Raven, but also Lady Silmerhelm Helve here after the incident this afternoon with the Drakhorn. And I believe that leads us to here. I'll turn to my companions. I don't believe I missed much, but if there is anything, please feel free to fill them in.
I stand and I just start applauding, but clearly I'm the
All
only
right.
person applauding, so I just sit back down slowly.
Sorry, that was a lot.
Hey man, they asked for it.
Right.
They did. They want that. That's the correct
They
answer.
consented.
Okay. Anybody else want to add anything?
No, I think
that was
Arthur did an
very
amazing
detailed.
job. No, I
Curious to know their
followed
response.
Arthur to the notes.
So as Arthur recounts the tale of the glory holders,
Jesus,
you
okay.
see several.
Make it sound a lot less serious now that we.
It sounded so good until you said glory holders. I was like,
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
what we are known as.
Yeah.
what are the origins?
You see various individuals kind of nodding at times or frowning or taking notes as he speaks. One of the questions that is prompted by Delon Winterhound is how many eggs were there at the dragon hatchery?
The hatchery outside of Green Est.
Indeed.
I believe there were 3 there. We destroyed
3.
1 and took 1 with us from Green Est to Elturel.
And what of the third?
I do not know. We turned that over to. I don't have notes on that. Honestly, I think we turned it over to Leosin and Onthar, to the best of my knowledge. I don't think we destroyed it. I don't know why we.
In the recap, you said Leosin, but Leah has absolutely no fucking clue because she wasn't part of the group. So
Um,
I thought we hit those dragon eggs. I don't know why.
I believe we destroyed 2.
We destroyed 2
we
and moved 1. We took 1 with us. So it was Langdodros's body and the 1 egg we took from Greenest to El Terrell. But once it got to El Terrell, I know we buried Langdodrosa, and I'm pretty confident that we turned the egg over to Leosin and Onthar. But honestly, if we just want to say it was destroyed with Langdodrosa, I don't see why that would affect us at all. I know we don't have it. We didn't take it. So yeah.
Lord Neverember and Lady Silverhand kind of whisper something to one another, and she turns back to you and says, "Why didn't you sell the eggs?"
sell them.
Indeed, they're certainly valuable. We could have used that money to fund the war against the Cult of the Dragon.
I can't imagine putting a dangerous black market item back into the market would hardly be safe for the community. So I think what we were thinking.
You
We
have
could have.
you have to understand that at the time we were all of this was thrust upon us extremely rapidly. Within days we arrived at Greenest, eradicated the cult, pushed the cult out of Greenest, cleared out a cult stronghold in the mountains or into the hills east of Greenest, came back with a dragon egg and brought it to Elturel. You have to understand that none of us imagined anything like this arriving at Greenest, and to be honest, we imagined that the dragon egg would be safer in the hands of someone more experienced than a couple of new adventurers.
Lord Neverember kind of holds his hands up. We understand. No one is questioning your motives. We simply want to understand them. I think what Lady Silverhand is suggesting is that the eggs could have been leveraged somehow against the cult rather than simply destroying them. Delane, at that point, kind of pounds his fist on the table and says, "They shouldn't have been destroyed at all. That upsets the natural balance of things." And Never Ever kind of waves his hand away at him, and at this point, it becomes clear that um, the actions that you have taken thus far, um, for good or bad, have influenced the opinions of the other council members here at the table. And some see some things that you've done as beneficial, others question some of your actions. But you realize fairly quickly that there are a lot of different interests and a lot of different morals at play here, and it's hard to please everybody, obviously. Um, but that's the name of the game when it comes to politics and diplomacy, and no one knows that better than the people sitting in this room with you. So, um, the other kind of main topic that the questions revolve around is the fate of Skyreach Castle. Um,
We have, as I mentioned, after our brief alliance with the Giants, we did form a future prospect for alliance. Our companion Eve went with them in order to help them secure their army. The castle itself remained in Blagathkis's charge, as it was his castle, and he was honestly the only one that could control it. And it went north. Well, I'm not sure if we probably got information on where it was heading, actually.
yeah,
The Eye of
remember he told you
something, yeah.
the
I
eye of at at I lost it. It's like ad Amnar or something.
I got it. The Eye of the Allfather, reference to Onum, Allfather, creator of the Giants. It can be accessed by passing
Onum.
through a mountain pass that begins in the valley of Kedron. So, yeah.
So several of the council members question whether it was better for the group to form what you believe is an alliance with the giants and to um, forfeit any chance of possessing the powerful Skyreach castle. For indeed, it is powerful, and having a flying castle that could hold troops and travel, you know, over great distances would prove beneficial in whatever battles are set to occur. However, ultimately that didn't happen. But just so it's clear, some of the dissidents believe it would have been better for you to have waited for reinforcements and then tried to secure the castle and control of it. However unrealistic that plan might have been, whatever justifications you provide for your alliance with Blagothgus, that is a promise that has yet to come to pass. So,
We had just
it's
fought
hard
a
to
literal
really.
adult white dragon and a vampire. I did not want to also fight a fucking cloud giant and his entourage of ogres to take over the castle. I'll be honest with you. I probably would have jumped off the side of the castle myself.
Indeed, indeed. Well, I believe that covers everything. Thank you for that summary, says Lord Neverember. It is clear to us that you have all taken a firm hand in addressing this crisis, and you have proven your worth. Therefore, the Council hereby deputizes you with emergency investigative powers. He hands a piece of paper to Onthar that gets passed around the table and ultimately ends up in one of your hands.
Yeah,
As you
pass that shit.
as you see the paper, it is in fact a writ um, demonstrating your investigative powers as deputies of the Council of Waterdeep. He explains, this will grant you access to resources and sites that you deem necessary for your investigation. But heed my words. It carries with it the burden of oversight from this council. If you misbehave or abuse your powers, they will be reviewed and the writ will be revoked. You understand?
Yes, thank you. Speaking for myself and I imagine the rest of the party, we only wish to do the best we can when it comes to ending the cult's power.
We'll use the resources with the utmost responsibility.
Indeed. Now, turning to new matters. I'm sure you've all heard
Can I interrupt?
of course. That's always a good idea. Interrupting
the king?
the Lord Protector of Neverwinter and the open water. Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'm just before new matters are discussed. Exactly. Thank you, Ulfgar. Our party has gone to great lengths to ensure that every resource that the cult has presented before us has either been repurposed for the betterment of the people or eradicated as a whole. We've killed at least 1.5 worm speakers, and we've taken capture of another prospective worm speaker. We've taken over one of the great dragon masks, and the only thing that concerns us now truly is Hazaron. I know that many of you may be familiar with weapons of its caliber, but I can assure you it is truly dangerous in the wrong hands. It has a mind of its own. It will creep into the mind of its wielder, and we do not feel that it is safe to be left about. If we are open to discussion in regards to what the council deems fit to do with it, but I will tell you that as I'm sorry, it was Lady Silverhand that mentioned the cost of the dragon egg. Is that correct?
Indeed.
As I mentioned before, I believe that Hazaron in this case is much more dangerous in the hand of a cultist than an unhatched dragon egg. It is worth much, but it is worth much more in the hands of someone who would do harm with it. Do any of you have suggestions as to what should be done with it outside of simply selling it to the highest bidder.
Council kind of looks at each other. Underspells leans over to Sir Istival and they whisper something, and Sir Istival nods, and Karen turns to Lord Neverember and says, "If it pleases the council, Sir Istival and I will take possession of the sword. We can experiment with it and see if there's something we can do about turning it to benefit our cause. Otherwise, surely it can be destroyed, and none other than Sir Istival can be questioned about their intentions with the sword."
Is he talking to
Lord
us?
Neverember.
Thank you.
Lord Neverember kind of turns back and looks at you guys to see whether you're on board with the turning over of the sword to Thunder Spells.
For experimentation?
To see if they can turn it over to, change its nature, more or less.
Yeah.
I personally do. Can we? Can my party
without payment?
My party can confer with Sir Istival and Sir Hornblade upon conclusion of this council if we would like to move on to further matters. I will say that if Sir Istival is sure that it can be turned for the greater purpose, maybe maybe a replacement for us is in order, or maybe Hazaran is not as dangerous as we previously thought. But we will discuss it as a group.
Maybe some monetary compensation.
That's what I was implying with the substitution, with the replacement of. But yes,
Leah wants to be very clear. She wants gold, not a sword.
Leah's like, according to a commercial that I saw, I'm entitled to monetary compensation for my troubles.
I want my money, and I want it now.
Call JG Wentworth.
Yes.
877 cash now.
I was at Camp Lejeune. I drank the water.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. So Lord Neverember turns back to Sir Istival and kind of poses a silent question, whether it's best to table the matter for later, and they kind of nod and turn back. And so then Lord Neverember kind of clears his throat again, and he says, "Now then, as I was saying, you all know the plan that the Cult of the Dragon has undertaken. They seek to assemble the 5 dragon masks and summon Tiamat from the 9 hells. Gathered here to stop that. And the 5 of you have done your part by no stretch of the imagination. However, we do need help with other developments. We have news of 2 pressing matters. The first," and he kind of pauses and looks towards Remy, but her face doesn't change at all, and she doesn't look at him. She just sorry, I'm looking for what I'm looking for. She God damn it, where'd it go? Oh, there it is. She remains stoic and does not turn towards Lord Neverember, though he clearly looks at her briefly, and he says, "Sorry." Where is his name?
Someone we know?
No. Here we go. I found it. I'm sorry. Yes. We have news of 2 new developments. The first, and he kind of looks to Remy, but she ignores him. We have received news of the assassination of Lord Arthagast Albrinter, one of the masked lords of Waterdeep.
What was the name?
Assassination of
Arthagast.
Assassin.
Arthagast
That's
Sure.
right. We
Oldbrenner.
just type it.
He was a
Assassination of Asinite. Art.
masked lord of Waterdeep. And
News of Arthagast's recent murder has spread across the Sword Coast, galvanizing the opposition to the cult of Waterdeep.
Masked what?
masked lord of Waterdeep.
Oh.
Why?
Yeah, one of them masked lords.
Why was Neverember looking over to Romalia? I'm gonna keep that in the back of my mind. I guess there's something
Yeah.
to that.
His wife has threatened, has sworn to stop the cultist. Isn't that right, Remy?
There we go. Okay, it was her husband.
What?
She kind of finally turns to Lord Neverember, and his you can see like look of disdain on her face at not not like pouring salt in the wound, but just his blunt nature of dragging her back to her grief, I guess. The other,
Her husband.
yes, Lord Arthagast Olbrinter.
Aw.
She's
I
widowed.
Don't
mean,
want to
she's
risk
a
her
She's
widow.
leaving.
widowed, Leah. Maybe you can get the rebound.
I was about to
Maybe
say,
maybe
I've
you
got
could
a
take
shoulder you
advantage of
can
her.
cry on.
That's terrible.
The second,
Yes, take
The
advantage
second-
of her vulnerability.
We're terrible.
Yeah, wow.
Okay.
the second piece of news is the sounding of the Drackhorn. And for that, we turn to Lady Dalla for more information. She kind of nods and rises. Do do do. She bows to the council and thanks them for inviting her to discuss the Drackhorn. She explains that the Sea of Moving Ice was the last known location of the Drackhorn. No one can pinpoint its present location from the sound, or even verify with certainty that the relic is still in the Northern Sea, but the search must start there. The one person who could tell us more is a tiefling sorcerer called Makath the Crimson.
You said a
No
sorcerer?
one alive. Yes, a tiefling sorcerer. No one alive knows more about the Drackhorn than her. But the Arcane Brotherhood, of which she is also a member, hasn't seen her for 3 years. She was investigating the Sea of Moving Ice when she disappeared. With that, she takes her seat again.
Is Makath a female sorcerer?
Indeed,
Okay.
Female tiefling sorcerer, correct?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
correct.
Yep.
Okay. So, Macath the Crimson.
Who did she belong to? The Brotherhood of something?
The Arcane Brotherhood.
Arcane Brotherhood. That's right. Okay. Member of the Arcane Brotherhood. Has information about the Drackhorn. BRAA.
Romalia at that point kind of stands up and turns and says, addresses the council and says, Leosin has reported to me that the cultist behind Lord Arthagast's assassination is none other than Garon the White.
Who? Garin the White?
Veron the White.
Well,
Oh, okay. He's one of the worm speakers, right?
Yes, the White Worm Speaker.
And he's still in Waterdeep?
No. We have tracked him to...
Did he do it personally, or was he just the orchestrator of it?
Uh, oh, wait. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm wrong. Hold on a second. I'm sorry. He was not. He was not the killer of Lord Arthagast. But when Lord Arthagast was assassinated, Remy, as the leader of the Harpers, dedicated all of her resources towards tracking the cultist movement. And it has been rumored that Barham's white dragon mask has been stolen and that he is um, either in hiding, waiting for it to be recovered, or seeking it out. But he was last seen in the trade settlement of, oh God, I'm going to butcher this, Boriskir Bridge near the Serpent Hills.
You said that's where he's looking?
Yeah, he is. Lord Arthagast was a masked lord of Waterdeep. So Waterdeep is run by a council of lords, all of whom their identities um, are unknown to the general public, except for the Open Lord who leads them, and that's Neverember at this point.
Orskir Bridge, that's where Barham was last seen. It's track 2, is that correct?
Yeah, that's where he was last tracked to. It's a trade settlement near the Serpent Hills. And so you essentially the choice is left to you guys, whether to um, pursue the trail of Varum the White or investigate the disappearance of Makath the Crimson.
Did you say Serpent Hills?
Indeed. Uh, Dala, for her part, urges the adventurers to investigate the disappearance of Makath the Crimson. As the leading expert on the Drakhorn, her disappearance has obviously raised some alarms, although it's been 3 years since anyone has heard anything from her. But in her mind, the chance to save someone that is, good, is more important than the chance to capture someone who's evil.
Gotcha. Okay, I have 2 things.
Ro-
Sorry, Serpent
Mhm.
Hills. Is that attached to Borskir Bridge? Or on the way?
Yes.
Okay, in
Yeah, it's they're close to each other.
okay, got it. And then my second question is out of character. Feel free to feel free to just tell me you can't answer that question. But as someone who wants to 100% everything, does doing one exclude us from doing the other?
No,
Okay,
So
so
we
it's
do
just we're
both of them
choosing the
eventually.
order in which we want to do it.
indeed.
I don't
They
get
both need to be investigated. But it's up to you which one you choose to do first.
Yeah.
Must we decide now, or can we again deliberate with and discuss amongst ourselves?
Now is the time for deliberation.
Lady Dala confirms that Makath is a great source of information, but what damage can Varum the White cause in the time that he's gone missing? I imagine he'll do much in his search for the mask. If the rumors are true and that he's lost it, wasn't that what he just said, or you just said?
Indeed. Rumor is that it has been stolen.
Stolen.
However, Tiamat cannot be summoned as long as you possess the Black Dragon Mask. At least as much as our information tells us.
That is
The expert on that is none other than Rathmodar.
I know that name. And, oh, Rathmodar is the
He
Red
is-
Wizard of Thay.
He is one of the Red Wizards of Thay, indeed.
He's allied to the cult.
Correct.
Are you suggesting that we have an allyship with him as well, or that you're just referencing him as being the
No.
expert?
No.
Oh, okay,
no.
understood.
Yes, he is the resident expert on the ritual that will summon Tiamat. Our intelligence tells us that they need all 5 of the dragon masks in order to do so, although it's conceivable that Rathmodar may develop some other way to summon Tiamat. In any event, your possession of the Black Dragon Mask means that it's not in the cult's hands, and without it, as far as we know, they cannot summon Tiamat. So, whatever the fate befalls the White Dragon Mask, as long as the Black Dragon Mask stays safe, then Tiamat should not be able to be released from the Nine Hells.
Well, I feel
Dang,
like I just had a huge target put on my head.
if only we didn't had a chance to kill Rathmodar.
Only he hadn't escaped us using some crazy magic or something.
Yeah.
Rathmodar, man, never heard of him. Don't know anything about him. Crazy. So I guess, I mean, I would like to bring up that the Black Dragon Mask has been a great help, right? Like it has been a great help to Leah and to our party, and it doesn't seem to have the destructive nature of the sword Hazaron. So acquiring another mask, would definitely help someone in our party, I'm sure. However, I mean, the sounding of the horn seems to be pretty severe and is causing disruption somewhere. I don't, or everywhere. Do we know if the Drakhorn is only causing issues here in Waterdeep, or have reports come from other locations? Like, is this a continental thing, or?
Ask me that again.
Is the disruptions caused by the Drakhorn potentially sounding, is that a continental thing, or is that localized here to Waterdeep? Like, who's all being affected by that?
No, it's all across Faerun.
Oh, okay, so it's continental. I mean, then I would argue that the horn is probably our primary goal, right? I mean, as much damage as Vellum can do, we do have one of the masks, and trying to track down a worm speaker and a thief at the same time doesn't exactly seem like a fun time at the moment. But that's my vote. I vote we go after the Drakhorn, or go find Makath.
The idea of traversing an icy sea sounds quite exciting.
It's pretty cool, yeah? Yeah. Okay. So is that two
Thematically.
votes for Makath?
3.
3 votes for
4.
Makath, 4 votes for Makath. Ulfgar, any objections?
No, I follow. I kill.
All right. Channeling some
This is
Eve.
search and rescue?
Maybe we should get Hazaron away from Ulfgar already. Okay. Arthur would like to lean over Dala temporarily. Madam Quinny, if you are to join us, do you have any objections in braving a sea of ice? No, that sounds like a great idea. Great, thank you.
Oh wait, I was talking. I was muted. Okay, I was saying that I would love to assist the famous group.
The
I don't
famous
trust her.
group.
Then
Oh,
Glory.
glory to the
Or-
glory
or that's-
holders.
that's the Hazaron in you. He's invaded your mind.
No,
Uh,
it's just another elf.
then
Female elf.
Then, at the recommendation of Lady Dala, and I'll nod my head towards her, I believe our next goal will be to locate Makatha Crimson and discover or recover more information about the Trackhorn.
Very well, says Lord Neverember. Any other comments before this council is ended?
No, this is more so out of character. Can y'all remind me the significance of Serpent Hill and Borsker Bridge? Is that where the Varum the White was seen?
Yeah,
Or
so
Yeah,
it looks
that's
like Remy. So Remy has dedicated resources to tracking down like the cult after her husband's assassination, and it seems like the information she's gathered has led us to Varum the White's last known location, which is Borsker Bridge, which is located near Serpent Hills.
gotcha. Okay.
Do I have that right, Anthony?
yes, sir.
Perfect. Okay, then I think it's
All right. Any other comments?
no. I mean, we'll meet with Sir Estevel and Taryn to discuss Hazaron, and we'll meet with Quinny and Remy and Onthar and Leosin to, catch up and get to know Quinny if we're going on an adventure with her.
Very well. Let it be known that this council is adjourned. And Lord Neverember kind of bangs the pommel of his dagger on the table again in a kind of a hammer fashion. And everyone rises as he strides out of the council chamber, followed by several other individuals, including Braun Anvil, Lady Silverhand, Marshal Ravengard, King Melindrak, Delon Winterhound, Lord Onthar stays at your request, and is waiting as you turn to thunder spells.
Okay, so out of character, as a party, what our three options are essentially keep it, hand it over to the council for a potential reward, or sell it. Those are the three options, right? Are there any other options that you guys can keep? By keeping it, we either use it or we seek out a way to destroy it later. So keep it, to destroy, to protect and destroy, turn it over for potential experimentation and potential reward on our part, fingers crossed, or we find a buyer and sell it for a monstrous amount of gold and potentially get bit in our ass later on when when Tiamat uses it as her front tooth.
Well, I think that the people who want to experiment on it would gladly give us a lot of money for it.
Do you think that?
I do.
Okay. That's very optimistic
hope it.
thinking. Wishful
I hope
thinking.
it with all of my dark little heart.
Speak it into existence.
Exactly.
Okay.
Let's confirm first if they'll actually give us money or not. If they're not, I'm not gonna agree to giving it to them.
Okay. All right.
I have reservations too. I don't necessarily trust these people. I mean, it's just
Yeah,
like
they
the
don't seem
setting
to
of
trust each other, so
yeah,
why
it's just
should we
like
trust them?
the political vibe, like everyone has like the same agenda to do the same thing, but I think everyone's got a little bit to hide too. That being said, you know, old this old high mage from this foreign region is happily taking it to do things with the in order to make the sword spirit, I guess, be suppressed or like commanded somehow. But to what end,
All I think of is like the naive girl who's dating the bad boy and she's just like, I can change him. I can fix him.
Maybe they can. I mean, okay, so we need to get a feel of who they are first, right?
I think so.
I guess we
I
try to
always
decide
consider that.
whether they're trustworthy enough or whether their intentions are good enough. I mean,
I think it
so
was a bad impression so far.
I think I understand everyone's trepidations, but I think at some point we have to trust someone, right? Like this isn't even an out of character thing. Like Arthur, although they all have their own individual like motivations, right? Like selfishness is just a part of humanity. We are all working towards the same thing to the best of our knowledge, right? And although we're newcomers into this, it seems like the council has been formed way longer than potentially we have, right? It's possible that the council has been a party or been a council longer than we've been a party, which is at this point half a year. So I mean, I get it that we trust each other more than we would trust these potential strangers, but at the same
I
time,
trust Antar. I don't trust the ones that we don't know.
right? No, I understand. I just, maybe if Onthar can vouch for them, or even Leosin, or I don't know. I mean, I don't know Remelia, we don't Dala or
That would
anything.
make
But
me feel better. That would make me feel better if Onthar or Leosin.
well, he's here, so I guess let's just initiate a conversation and discuss our concerns, and
I mean,
advise them that.
before we do,
Oh, yep. Go ahead.
yeah, before we do, like, how does everyone feel like with that? Like, is Onthar or Leosin's word enough to sway those who didn't have
For Leah,
reservations?
no, just because she doesn't know any of them.
Right.
So, but she knows you guys, she trusts you guys. So if it comes down to you guys like have trust in one or two of these people and their judgment, then I'll probably default to that. But she's
Alright.
really just a greedy little girl who wants money to buy beer.
I mean,
Okay, well, I respect that, Leah, and I appreciate your trust in this, whatever trust you're offering.
Anthony, do any of us know anything more about the Purple
Yep.
Dragon
You saved
Knights?
me a few
Oh,
times.
what were you saying, Mel?
I was telling Bryn, like, y'all have saved me a time or two. I have some trust in you. Specifically, Ulfgar.
We've definitely all nearly died a few times.
You tip my fedora.
My lady. Do any of us know anything more about the Purple Dragon Knights and or Silvery Moon potentially? Like, do we know anything about their motivations? Are they like, what is their reputation? In character.
Go ahead and roll a history check.
Okay. Are we all rolling that? Is it the plan?
And I don't know if that's something that I can help.
Yeah, I don't see what.
I am helping.
Say that again, Ulfgar.
I don't see what would be my interest in the Purple Knights.
Well,
So,
I mean, there are.
If I could help.
That's fair. I mean,
okay. You can have a roll.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Okay, well, I rolled shit, so.
Are we all supposed to be rolling?
Oh, okay, you're helping.
Yeah, you can roll.
I rolled shit.
Okay.
I rolled my
Well,
night.
I don't have a modifier for it, but fuck it.
Okay, none of us know shit about shit.
Quinny.
Yeah, Quinny.
Say, Quinny, you wanna help out here?
I got you.
Damn, Gore has a negative, and he still rolled higher than us.
History, right?
History, indeed.
Yes,
History.
Why did I roll with advantage?
It might be set on your. It might be default. If it didn't prompt you, you probably have your sheet set to rolling automatically.
But
hacker.
It's okay. It's a 15.
How do I?
Better than the rest of us rolled.
Yeah.
Yeah. So So Quinny and Gore, you both recognize that Purple Dragon Knights are officers and warrior elite of the Cormyrian army. As Knights of the Crown, members of the Purple Dragons put their honor before anything else and would not bend it for any purpose. And the order has high ethical standards, and its knights are servants of law and good, though not always both.
That's fair. See, that's why we need to do more Ulfgar.
Okay.
Do I set it as advantage toggle or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Regardless
Thank
of
you.
any purple dragon's individual feelings, they were all expected to do whatever was best for Cormyr and to serve justice, giving no rest to evil nor corruption.
Okay. There we go. I mean that at least. Go ahead.
Each purple dragon knight typically assumes command of between 10 to 100 purple dragon soldiers in the Cormyrian army.
Gotcha. So he's the leader in battle. They're held to the utmost honor and good, and that's something.
Many purple dragon knights swear an oath once per day to destroy a single enemy in battle. This oath gives them confidence and strength of resolve, so long as they were engaged in combat with that opponent. Their morale remained strong, and they were more potent in battle.
Cool. It's pretty neat. Good job, Quinny. And Gore?
Yeah, you.
You got
I know a lot.
apparently so. Okay. I mean,
According to one Rakshasa masquerading as a soldier in the Cormyrian army, Sir Isteval is a legend, a hero among heroes, whose accomplishments are known far and wide. He is a paladin of Lathander and a veteran dragon slayer.
all right. I mean, I'm just saying Arthur trusts Isteval with his life at this point. But I mean, at least we know what kind of order they come from. And you know, what kind of order or what kind of person you have to be generally to join an order like that. So, or to be welcomed in an order like that. Okay. Well, let's strike
Just one more thing, which I think I alluded to earlier when we were being introduced. But of all of the other council members present,
Mhm.
Onthar respects Sir Isteval the most and has the most in common with him. They're both paladins, although of different gods. But both gods are, lawful good. So they share many of the same tenets and ideals. So if you're looking to Onthar to, what's the word, vouch for Sir Isteval, he will do so wholeheartedly without any hesitation. He considers Sir Isteval as beyond reproach.
right.
Hmm.
How are we all feeling now?
At that point, I guess like the only person that really wanted the sword was what? Thunderspell?
They spoke with each other, and Isteval, Taryn mentioned that no one would do better than Sir Isteval. So I'm sure they'll help each other, but it seems like we'd be handing over possession of Hazaron to Sir Isteval.
Yeah, it would. The proposal, although vague, essentially was that as a high mage, Sir Horn or Terran Hornblade would examine the artifact and, do whatever experiments he thought he could attempt to try and discern the nature of the weapon and if it was possible to change it or anything like that under the watchful eye of Sir Isteval, who again could be seen as the truest soul here, I guess, as far as not being swayed by Hazaron. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Can't
I don't know
trust
how
a
to.
true soul.
I don't know how to. I'm trying to think of like an analogy, but I can't think of one.
No, it makes sense. It's all good.
It's like, okay, this is gonna be a reach, but I'm gonna go for it. It's like Tony Stark fiddling with like the Infinity Stones under like the watchful eye of Captain America, right? Like Captain America is gonna go down with the ship no matter what. He'll never turn to the dark side. While Tony has like, power
right? He's the knowledgeable one.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I feel better about handing over Hazaron. Oh,
Yeah, as long as we get something for it, I'm sold.
Yeah. What do we
would
get in
also want to
return?
entertain that too.
Say that again. What did you say, Leo?
What do we get in return?
Yeah, she said,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
what do we get in return? That is a good question.
Gore, Ulfgar, what are we thinking?
Because we could just hawk it for 200,000, so it needs to be pretty good.
Yo.
Sir Istaval kind of frowns at the bad joke.
I know you don't know Leah. She's not quite joking. However, to Leah's point, this is a valuable artifact both in power and in monetary value. And although we do truly wish for it to be in the right hands, we also would like, if not a weapon of equal value, then something that we can at least either use in the battle against the cult or some form of financial compensation so we can outfit ourselves with the best possible equipment.
Look, Gore is pretty uncomfortable with this. I don't think we should give the sword that can possess someone to like the most powerful person in this room. You know?
I mean, that's what Sir Istibal is for, right? It's like
He's like
it's like
the moral
it's like
compass,
giving
right?
it's like giving Batman the sword and then Superman's watching over, or like giving Superman the sword and Batman's watching over with some kryptonite, right? Like,
Yeah, I guess.
what does Gore want to do with it? Are you going to use it?
No. Gore does not want to use it.
Don't want to get spiritually molested.
So let me have my payday.
Yeah. She's like, let them
Gore, we've
cook,
been
please.
through a lot together.
I mean,
like,
Yeah,
let's get this bag.
let's do it. I mean,
you're free to ask questions. I mean,
he's
ask questions, Gore.
reluctant.
Yeah,
Roll, or
go ahead.
try to find
I
out
had my
their
hesitance too.
intentions. I mean, anything. You're part of this. I want you to feel comfortable in the decision as well. But I mean, if Hazaron is not going to be useful to us, and Hornblade and Istibal are claiming that they could at least turn it to, potentially turn it to our side, change its alignment.
We could actually use it.
Yeah, we should take the chance then.
Well, then if that's the case, maybe that could be the agreement. If there's not anything of monetary value they could use, then when the sentient sword becomes tamed, then we would happily wield it. Sake of the
I mean,
cult.
if they get that information, maybe we can come back for it. We still need something in the meantime, I would say.
I would say that's a big if for us to walk away with nothing.
But I agree, it could be part of the agreement. We can wield it later. Or if Sir Istibal and Hornblade decide that there's nothing they could do, that Hazaron is too corrupt, then we can pledge our assistance with destroying it at a later date.
Right, because that's something I would want to. I think that.
Yeah, either way, we'll assist with disposal of it if necessary. At that point, we'll have been, I imagine we'll be much stronger, much more capable as a party.
Well, it appears there may be several options. If it is gold that you want, I can offer you some. If it is some kind of replacement weapon, that can be achieved as well. Or if you'd like to enter in some kind of deal where you get the sword back if we can change its nature, then we can do that.
Who's
It's
talking
really
right now?
Taryn.
Well, okay, so Hazaron is what kind of sword? Like a great sword?
Yeah, it's a
like
great
what?
sword.
Great sword.
Great sword.
So are the only ones who can utilize that Gore and Ulfgar?
Yeah, but they can't really utilize it either.
They're
They're like
for
sword and
gold-
shield
for gore or
people.
shields.
So
Yeah.
Okay, so and with Eve gone, especially, we really don't need the sword.
Right.
Leah just
Like,
wants
it'd be-
money. We get it, Leah. I'm just
Yeah.
kidding. Just-
Well, she
Yeah,
does,
I know.
but I'm like
You're
I'm trying
right.
to logic through it. Like, is it worth coming back and getting the sword and potentially changing the deal up to accommodate going back and getting the sword, you know, if they manage to change it, you know, in its alignments, whenever none of us can even wield it.
Let's do two things. Let's firstly, the third condition, I think, needs to be its separate thing. I think we're all in agreement that if this thing can't be turned, if it can't be created or it can't be changed to help us, then we all want it destroyed. Yes.
Yes.
Sure.
That this is third. This is separate. So we're getting something now. We want something now. But separately, if it can't be turned, we will assist in destroying it. Point blank. Period. However, if it can be turned and we can utilize it for good, we will. If you wouldn't mind lending it to us, or even Sir Istibal. If Sir Istibal thinks he can wield it, I don't give a shit. But if it can be turned, I would like it to be used for the good of the council, for the good of Faerun against the cult. So if it's better in our hands than it is in your hands, we wish to loan it to us. We'll return it afterwards, after the cult has been disbanded or after our mission is complete. We can return it to you. But if it is turned, then we would like the option to wield it against the cult. Is there any objections to the party here? Because by the time we get it back, that's like 8 levels from now. Like who knows, right? By level 14, 15, 16, like it's possible that Ulfgar and or Gore get something better or change their fighting style. Like Ulfgar or Gore, one of you might want to use a two-handed or great sword at that point, right? We have a ways down the road. But I think that third condition should be in place regardless of the outcome of the first two conditions.
Okay.
Any
I'm
objections?
confused.
What's confusing about it?
I don't know. I just don't understand the.
We are offering our
Yeah.
services to destroy it in the case that it can't be turned, right? For offering our services, if it can be turned, we would like to borrow it, or we would like it used against the cult. If it's better in our hands during that time, then we'd like temporary control of it to destroy the cult. In which case, after our job is done, we'll return it back to you because we won't need it anymore. Or if you think it's better in Sir Istibal's hands, if none of us need it at that point, then we'll just decline and you can keep it.
Okay.
So that's separate, right? That's not part of the agreement. As far as whether we accept gold now or weapons now,
That's what I was confused about. I see.
yeah.
So you want some kind of compensation for it now. You're turning over ownership to them permanently, but if they can turn it, you would like to have at least an opportunity, if you're interested, in temporarily reclaiming it for the good of the cause, and then you'll give it back again when you guys win.
Correct.
So in other words, you're selling the sword either for gold or something else to them, but you want, as a separate condition, in exchange for your assistance in destroying it, if it can't be changed for good, then if it can be, you want to be able to.
That is correct.
Have, like, right of first refusal.
Correct.
Okay.
Perfect. Now,
I hope someone's writing this down because the lawyer's not.
I mean, I'll write it down once it's. I wasn't writing anything till it's decided, but I'll write it down, the agreement and everything.
I want this drafted by a devil.
Okay. Where's
Where's
Raphael when you need him?
With all the clauses.
Okay. Perfect. But
Santa Claus, Mrs. Claus.
Our party and their party are in agreement on that. Is that okay? Do we agree to those terms?
Yeah.
I'm
okay.
I'm okay with that.
Any Gore and
curious to see what they have to give us.
Yeah, as far as compensation goes, obviously Hazaron is in a league of its own. Arthur personally doesn't expect 200,000 gold worth of anything, right? Like, I think that's just astronomical. In order to even find a buyer like that to get that money, I know we're like in out of character rules is written 200,000 is the base price, but I think that's just a number we've got in our head. I think we need to come to terms with the fact that we're not getting that, especially out of Sir Istapal and Hornblade. And I don't think Lord Neverember is going to straight up just give us 200,000 gold. So,
What about 100,000?
what is the offer? What is Istapal and Hornblade offering us as far as either a weapon that we can use or its gold value? What are we thinking? What are you thinking? What are they thinking?
So I was thinking, out of character.
Yeah.
Given the nature of the weapon, and who knows
Mr.
what its value really. I mean, it's right. Something's only worth what
Dad.
somebody else will pay for it,
Yeah.
right?
لا عارف
And
عارف.
in
إن شاء
this
الله
case,
غالب.
it's unclear whether what the fate of the sword is even going to be. And if it can't be turned, then it's only worth $200,000 to someone that aligns with the sword's interests.
Right.
So I was thinking that they would agree to trade you in exchange for Hazaron either a very rare magic item or 40,000 gold. I'm sorry, 50,000 gold.
Each?
No, not to each of you. That would
Rude.
be 250,000 gold.
Is that the base price for a very rare item? Is that what you're getting at?
Base price is 40, but I'm giving you half the base price because of the nature of the transaction, and then half the base price of that based on the nature of the weapon itself.
Sure.
This isn't like really a sale, right? This is not you're walking into a shop and then on top of that the nature of the sword complicates the transaction. So it's basically a quarter of the base price of a legendary magic item.
Right, understood.
Going
As
to a fucking pawn shop.
Exactly. Pawn shop rates. There you go.
Well, this isn't a pawn shop. This is a very highly
I
esteemed
gotta
castle.
now I have to listen to Pawn Shop by Sublime while we debate.
all right. As far as a very rare magic item goes that we'd be getting, would we be choosing that item, or would it be
I
randomly?
mean, it's the same. Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing, right? 50,000 gold is what it would cost you to. Oh no, I'm sorry. What is the price of a very rare
40,000
magic item?
base. It's 40,000 base sold. It's if you're talking
Right,
about
but you
buying a
buy
magic
one,
item,
what?
it's 1d4 plus 1
Yeah,
times
plus one.
10,000.
So it's just, yeah, so it's about the
It's
same
about the
thing.
same.
So yeah, basically you can either take the gold now or you can take the item now. It's gonna be the same thing either way.
So we can't take the gold and an item, and then it comes out essentially to like half of what we could have got by selling it.
Correct.
Like we can have both the gold and an item.
No.
Why?
Make it 60,000, so Queenie gets 10, and I think Arthur's got a deal.
Okay, so you want to split it 6 ways with the new person that you met for 5 minutes?
If she's going to be part of our party, I want her to have some money.
Okay.
So 60,000 and Arthur is in. What does everybody else
Okay.
think?
I'm okay. I'm okay with whatever we get, honestly.
60,000, so 10,000 gold apiece will allow us potentially another rare item each.
In lieu of the 60,000, I can offer you these 2 spell books that just made their way into my possession.
Good.
I'm glad you found those useful.
Is he just being? Is he just joking?
I think he's joking. Yeah, I think he's joking about the 2 spell books I sold.
That is true.
Um,
That is correct.
so here's my thought, right? If we take the gold, 60,000 gold pieces, split 10,000 apiece, we each come out with close to another rare item each. If we take a one very rare item, where only one of us is getting that, is it going to be strong? Sure, but how much is it really helping one of us?
Also, it probably won't be Leah since she's maxed out on her
Yeah,
achievement
so
slots, which is gonna really upset her.
she's going to have to drop something.
Well, I kind of figured someone else was getting whatever it was, anyways.
So
That's why she really just wants the gold.
yeah.
And
So
I want to see Bryn hold something cool.
What'd you say, Oakar? Sorry.
I want to see Bryn hold something cool.
Hold something cool. I have that dagger venom that I need sometimes.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I have a bunch of stuff that I bought recently too. Remember, like we got a bunch of cool shit. Got like the cool dagger tricks and like, the
That's true.
ever smoking bottle. So there's opportunities.
oh
I
lord,
got the longbow +1 as well with the little thumb hold.
your little mushroom.
Sentimental value go crazy.
Tattoo.
Okay, any objections to 60,000?
No, no objections.
I don't
Speak
care.
now or forever hold your quarterstaff.
Wolfgar, what are you
I
thinking?
mean,
You say you don't care, but you gotta care. You should care. What are you thinking?
What do you mean? We're getting something out of it.
Yeah. But I just
That's what I wanted to confirm, and that's it.
but you're okay with the 60,000 over a
Alright.
very rare item?
Gold.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we can each add
60,
10,000 more.
60,000 gold. You give up possession of Hazeron
You
permanently.
just get 16,000.
10,000.
No, you each get 10. Yeah.
10.
You give up.
Okay.
You give up possession of Hazeron permanently.
Goodbye, Hezron.
And Sir Istaval and Thunder Spells will attempt to experiment with Hazeron and see if it can be modified to serve good. If it cannot, you have pledged your services to help destroy it, whatever method that takes. If it can be turned, you have requested a right of first refusal to repossess the item for as long as needed to defeat the cult of the dragon, and then you will relinquish control of the weapon back to essentially the Council of Waterdeep, I guess,
yeah.
or
Okay.
Thunderspells or whoever, Sir Istaval. Okay.
Perfect.
Okie dokie.
It is a purely sweet parting with you, my friend.
Fuck you,
I do
Hazaron.
got a question, if that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No worries.
Completely, I would say just completely off topic because I did deafen for just a few seconds, but in the next session, will I get a chance to shout too or not? Not yet.
It's gonna be we should do it offline, not during the session. Your character
Okay.
already has her equipment for being an 8th level character. We just haven't figured out what that is exactly yet.
Okay.
So
Okay. I get you
yeah,
then. Sorry.
you and I can
Continue then.
do that some other time offline, whether it's tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, whatever. We can do it offline. And then you can buy whatever it is that you need to buy at whatever the prices are, and we'll go from there.
Okay. Thank you. Continue, everybody.
You're
All
part of the
right.
party
So I
now.
think actually, yeah, I think that's actually a good place to call it for tonight. It sounds like the group has decided to visit the Sea of Moving Ice and pursue the search for Makoth the Crimson. Begin with.
Yep.
But we'll do that. We'll pick that up next week. You're gonna get outfitted by the council with cold weather gear, and you'll be provided with transportation to the Sea of Moving Ice. And we'll pick up the adventure there next time.
Perfect.
Cold weather gear. Nice.
Sorry, I know this was a lot of role playing and talking and character introductions and stuff. No combat this time, but kind of setting the stage for what's to come. All of the council members are going to be um, important. Each one represents kind of a different faction. I know the Lord's Alliance is its own separate faction, but each council member has resources that he or she can pledge towards the battle against the cult, and winning each of their favors is going to be critical if you guys are going to succeed against the cult of the dragon. Again, some of the decisions that you have made already in the previous adventure have kind of set the tone for your relationship with some of the council members, and certainly the decisions that you will be making going forward are going to affect the way they view you and whether they will support your cause as kind of the champions of this story. So just keep in mind each person's interests. If you want to, you'll have some time if you want to kind of talk to various council members or ask about them, or try to do some digging on what their personality or interests might be. Then you certainly can do that. But otherwise, yeah, there is. I think I mentioned this to Jonathan. There is an interesting mechanic in this module, which is there's like a scorecard, and each council member has you have a like a reputation score for each council member.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, so it's interesting, how it plays out, and so at the end of the day, obviously the goal would be to get everyone's support, but that may or may not be possible. So you'll have to pick and choose how what your actions. And on top of that, you have to balance that, of course, with your character's own personal morals, right? Like, maybe you felt it was um, the right thing to do to smash the dragon eggs, and that's why you guys did it. Obviously, you weren't thinking about the Council of Waterdeep at that time,
Yeah,
but
we didn't even know there
going
was a council
forward,
march.
right? But going forward, like, you know, how you react to situations and uh, some of the actions or choices that you make. You just have to remember that that's going to be scrutinized by each of the council members, and some may support your decision, some may disagree with it.
Awesome. Sounds
That's
exciting.
pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought it was very interesting, actually. So, all right. Well, thanks, guys. Same time next week, I think. I don't think I have anything going on next Thursday.
No objections here.
I will say that at some point in the next couple weeks, not next week, but maybe the week after or the week after that, my wife's going out of town for a business meeting, and I'll be with the kids Thursday night by myself. So probably won't have D&D that night. But I'll let you guys know as it gets closer.
Yep.
Okay.
No worries, man.
Understood.
All right. I will wrap up the stream and then be right back.
All right.
Alrighty, friends. We are done. We're done. Good session. I like exposition. I like this stuff. I like knowing who we're working for and all that other admin information, It's important. I like the role-playing aspect of D&D. If I didn't, like, I don't know. I don't like when D&D just feels like a combat simulator. Is combat exciting? Yeah, absolutely, right? It can be pretty heavy. We fought some heavy hitters. We fought an adult white dragon. We fought a vampire. We took on the entire Castle Neritar with their army of bullywugs and cultists. Like, that was a lot of fun. And so I'm looking forward to this. Obviously, we're getting higher level, so the enemies are going to be higher level. The fighting is going to be more up tempo, I imagine, and more high stakes. Right? We hit hard, but they hit hard too. So it should be a good time. But yeah, we will be back. D&D will be back next Thursday. Well, I will be back with the Candlekeep Mysteries on Wednesday, and then we'll be back with this campaign next Thursday around the same time. So I'm looking forward to that. And I'll be back tomorrow morning. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Tomorrow's Friday. Well, today's Friday now. I will be back on Saturday with some Final Fantasy VIII, probably around the 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. So should be fun. But that's it for me for now. I am going to sign off here. And then I'm sure the party's going to play some ARAMs because that's what we always do, usually after D&D. We end up playing later than I really should, but that's how it goes. Anyway, yeah, I love you guys very much. Appreciate you all being here. Most of the party, I think, is in here too, but I love them as well. And I will see you on Saturday. Night, everybody.